Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Express Lane, the show that brings you speedruns in 60 minutes or less. I'm your host, Oscar24. Oh my god, I don't even know my name. It's been a day, friends. I'm Oscar424. Hi, I've just remembered that. And I have a couple quirky co-hosts, Galahad and Freya, who are disappeared right now. They're probably embarrassed that Mommy forgot her name. Anyway, if you want to check out this week's schedule and explore the entire season lineup, head to gdq.gg/hotfix during the break. Because right now, we've got some really cool runs. We've got an awesome, 3+3 set of runs. It's strange, I know. Roll with me on this one. We're doing a Mascot Masters themed episode and featuring all the cool games with super awesome mascots. Like I'm featuring one of the more iconic Silent Hill mascots in Pyramid Head. Again, makes sense. Roll with it. All right, we're ending the episode today with Ratchet Clank Original Quadrilogy. That's 4 games, under an hour. You know, don't want to miss that. We're also doing an OpenGOAL Jack 1, which is going to be a super cool run. But to start things off, we have, I believe, a GDQ debut today with Donkey Kong Bananza Trans% with the wonderful Pixel Parakeet. So hello, friend. How you doing?
Hello, I'm on. We're doing Donkey Kong Bananza Trans%. It's a good time. It's basically, if you've seen anything on any percent, you can kind of think of this as the first half of any percent plus a little bit extra at the end. So how it works is we do normal any percent nonsense at the beginning, but then at the end, in landfill, instead of fighting the boss, we collect 8 fossils, which act as a currency, and then we spend those fossils to buy the DK fur color that has the colors of the trans pride flag. And once we equip that with the looking good button like this, that's the end of the run.
Love it. And I already see the trans flags and the GDQ trans pride in chat, so keep those coming. I love to see it.
Love to see it. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's the preamble. I might as well get started here.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
All runs for Donkey Kong Bananza, no matter what it is, start when you, not yet, but you load a new file, and then when I select normal mode, that's the start of the timer.
All right.
I'm just gonna take a deep breath real fast.
You got this.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
We start off in, thank you. We start off in Ingot Isle. Ingot Isle it's not that bad, but there are a few things that we want to watch out for that I'll mention as we go. Basically, later in the run, there's something called Smashin' Stats. And the Smashin' Stats are the amount of terrain that you've broken in each level. There's counters for every level. And we want to cash that in for money later on to go past this barrier that costs about 3,000 gold. And so I messed that up right there, but you can just hit this again if you do that. But basically that button breaks stone. If it's in the cutscene, it doesn't count towards your smashing stat though. So you want to skip the cutscene like frame 1 of the hitting the button like that. That's more accurate. Another thing to note is that we're going to be doing a lot of turf surfing. As you can see there, it's just me riding on the chunks that I pick up. That is the fastest mode of transportation in the game. Most things are some combination of that or jumping based on how bumpy the terrain is, stuff like that. You might notice though, while I do it, I get bumped to the side occasionally. That's just, you know, you gotta roll with the punches in this game a little bit. The terrain can be a little funky. Unfortunately, Funky Kong is not in the game, but I wish. The other thing here is something called a FAT, or an AFAT. It basically stands for fast aerial turf surf, or aerial fast aerial turf surf, or something like that. I don't understand the names fully, but you're going to be seeing me do a lot of those. So like just now, if you see me like jump into a very, very fast turf surf, that's what that is. It'll be more clear in a bit here when I start doing some crazy jumps, but something to note. Here is mostly just trying to go as fast as possible with what we have, so a lot of turf surfing, and then skipping cutscenes. I'm not great at skipping the cutscenes. I'm sure that, you know, like if you wanted to practice skipping cutscenes specifically, some of them are a little weird. For instance, the button to skip the cutscenes will pop up occasionally, and then you actually have to like wait a second before it allows you to skip it. But here we go. This is a kind of a cool skip. So as you saw earlier, I jumped up on top of the thing in to get a checkpoint instead of coming directly here, and that's because instead of climbing out of this pit, we can actually teleport back, which saves a lot of time.
Oh, I love the teleport.
And then we're gonna do some cool jumps here, which also skips like a whole segment where you go around this area. And then I might have to go slow here because, again, you want to pay attention to the amount of rock you get. So just to play it safe, I'm going to wait for the cannon cycle. You want to get all 3 of these to get the smashing stat as high as possible. And this is very satisfying if you get it. Basically, you get 1 cutscene skip, 2 cutscene skip. Oh, missed it, but close. 3 cutscene skip. And that's Ingot Isle. It's actually super fast.
Wow.
Then we got some cutscenes coming up.
And actually, yeah, for those that just tuned in, there's already questions like asking again what trans percent is. That's basically you're building up to wear a certain, well, fur color, I guess.
Yeah, the hair color that you get. Oh, so this part I mess up with a lot, but basically you want to just turf surf along here. But like I said earlier, sometimes the terrain can be a little bumpy, which can mess you up. But here we actually got decent movement. You just don't want to fall there. But yeah, there's a hair or fur color. I don't know what monkeys have, if they have hair or fur, but it has the colors of the trans pride flag. And so if you know like Mario Odyssey nipple percent, it's kind of like that, where you basically rush to a certain point in the game and then buy an outfit and equip it. But in this, you know, it's trans percent instead.
And chat discuss. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say something you might see me do is when I'm doing the surfing on the chunks, depending on how long the area I have to surf across is, I jump a lot. And that's because the more you surf on a chunk, the more it degrades. But you lose so much time picking up a new chunk or not turf surfing to begin with that you want to jump to avoid it being on the ground as much as possible. Messed up the inputs there. And that makes it last longer. So you go a little slower, but you do maintain the chunk. So there's a lot of parts where you'll see me jumping like that. There's a long, unskippable cutscene part as well.
Well, in that case, I'll say, chat, discuss. Do monkeys have fur or hair? Let's figure that out. But just as a heads up for those of you paying attention to certain things on our wonderful social media, Games Done Quick Express is returning to TwitchCon in San Diego. It's going to be from the October 17th through the 19th, and you can learn more at twitchcon.com. And stay tuned for the schedule, which is coming up next month. It's going to be awesome.
So something cool I did just there is it tries to put you in a tutorial for how to use the Bananza you unlock. And there's no like designated skip button, but it's kind of funny if you just pause the game and return to layer. It just skips the entire tutorial, which saves some time. This is like another cutscene. All you got to do is basically mash A. There might be, I haven't seen anyone do any sort of like deep dive on the differences in languages. I know sometimes, you know, speedruns have preferred languages that are faster and stuff like that, but as far as I know, I haven't seen any specifics on that. I've seen a couple of people use Japanese for the voice language, but here we want to, so we're gonna run over here. This is kind of a fun one. We want to transform right here. And we're trying to get as much gold as possible, but you'll notice I'm not picking it up, and that's because the game actually picks it up for you when you enter a cutscene. So there's this whole tunnel that we can skip by going through the wall here and just like going straight up, which breaks a bunch of stone for our smashing stat. But you'll notice, I don't know if you were paying attention to my gold count, but my gold count is about to go like way up because all that gold on the ground just got vacuumed into DK's inventory basically upon entering the cutscene. And we're on our way to the first boss fight. Again, most of the movement here is getting gold and then picking up stuff to do some surfing with. There's a lot of cool movement in this game. Like, for instance, you can do air stalls with punches. You'll see me do a lot of, like, what is basically, you can almost kind of double jump by doing 2 of the surf input in the air, and then doing stuff off that. Here, this boss is a little tough if you don't get the right movement on it, but basically you want to rush over to this bomb rock, throw it at the boss, and then throw a rock at the boss. And if you do it right, you can one-cycle it. Basically all of its, you know, outer shell disappears, and then you just rush up to it and take it down. Also, the camera in this game is a little strange, but for basically every boss, which there aren't that many of that we'll be fighting in this run, you just want to do like a combination of rolling and punching as fast as possible. Same with these kind of things. You'll see I'm doing a lot of rolling and punching. Rolling and punching, for some reason, has like multiple hits that come out in quick succession. So as opposed to standing still and punching, it's a lot, you know, more... You get a lot more damage quicker. But sometimes you can kind of like bounce off of things if you're not careful. So I do, on certain things you'll see, do normal punches just so I don't like fall off a cliff or something, get bounced off. This is an interesting note. Okay, there's going to be a bunch of these in the run. Not that many, but, you know, enough. And I'm going to point it out here so that you know what's going on in the future ones. But in between most levels, there's these holes. And if you hold B, Donkey Kong goes faster down the hole. But people found out, and this is actually like applicable in a lot of areas of the run, there's a lot of weird stuff with the down punch, that if you down punch and you get that little burst of speed you're seeing and then let go and do it again, that actually saves like a couple seconds every single time you go down one of these long holes. Which over the course of like a full any percent run, I think people said it was like 30 to 40 seconds.
Ooh.
So it's one of those weird things where, you know, you're like doing rhythmic inputs and you might be thinking like, why am I doing this? But then, you know, you're close to a world record or something, and then all of a sudden you're like 40 seconds short and you're like, I should have been doing that the whole time. Here you're seeing a lot of the thing I was talking about where we want to jump. So I'm actually, right here is where we want to redeem our smashing stats. You'll see we got 800 total. We need 3,000. I'm a little short on the 3,000, but there are some cool spots that we can get gold that aren't that slow. Ideally, at this point, if I did everything right, or, you know, got like a little better RNG, or just, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, I should have had around 3,000 gold. Normally, you just go straight to the toll if you do that, which you'll see in a second, but instead I'm going to take this slightly alternate route and break all the gold down here and see if we get enough. If not, there's another spot I can get it. And unfortunately, there's no cutscene between them, so I do have to clap to get as much of it as possible. We're in backup strat territory right now. We're so close. Okay, I'm like missing 4 gold. There we go. And so people are trying to figure out a skip for that. You'll see this banana is about to blow up, which is what costs 3,000 gold. People on the speedrunning Discord are like desperate to figure out a skip for this because it's so annoying to have to route for. And there's actually a couple out of bounds clips and just like normal clips and other cool strategies that could be implemented in the run if we didn't have to pay for that. Like in Ingot Isle, there's a cool one that people just found where you can get out of bounds and like climb over top of the entire level. But again, we need the gold from there, so... You know, the sooner a banana skip gets found, the sooner the run looks like even cooler than it already does.
Nice.
And I will say my favorite thing about the run is there's some cool glitches, there's some cool skips, but I think the movement in this game just feels like extremely clean. That's a really short layer. It's even shorter if you have the money going into it, but there's even shorter layers than that. I think one of the layers that we're gonna see during the run is like 40 seconds long. During these segments, though, this is a great time if you have any announcements you want to make or anything. This, I think, takes like 30 seconds to get down this hole.
Done and done. Talking about another marathon, we have Frame Fatales, which is GDQ's all-women and femme speedrunning community, is preparing for its next event, which is Flame Fatales, and it's going to be running September 7th through the 14th. Schedule is live at gamesdonequick.com/schedule/58. Best friends in chat, you know who you are, which is all of you. Type !FF in the chat right now for info on how to join the Discord and stay up to date with all things Frame Fatales.
Perfect timing. We're about to enter the layer. This is actually my favorite layer speedrun-wise. The movement here I think this layer, in my opinion at least, I'm sure everyone has their own favorite, obviously, but, oh, well, okay. You know, there's that. This layer has some of, like, the cleanest movement, in my opinion. There's just a lot of, like, really cool jumps in quick succession that if you get first try, it just makes you... I'll put it this way. This area makes you feel like a cool speedrunner when you get it right. So I was doing some AFATs there, which is that jump that you can see giving me extra height. I'm gonna do one in a minute. I'm not gonna call it out because it's one of the ones that takes a little bit more focus for me at least.
Okay.
This jump right here, as simple as that looks, it's not that hard. So it is kind of simple, but,
it looks cool.
Underwhelming. But it actually skips 2 entire bosses and an auto-scroller section. And this skips most of the tower. That was another AFAT jump. We're gonna do another right here. That skips another, like, half of the tower. And then right here, normally you might need, oh, sorry, hold on, backup strats. Normally you might need Kong Bananza to break the concrete there. Well, that's fine. We're just gonna do it this way. This is another way. It's a lot easier, but the other way is faster. Normally you need Kong Bananza to break that or, you know, climb it up, which is slow. I'm sorry, I've been doing like minimum transformation runs, so I keep thinking in the frame of how do we use less Bonanzas. But no, it's faster to jump up that, basically. The first one that you saw that I did, imagine that worked. That is the fastest way, but if you are having trouble with that jump or doing like AFATs in general, you can do it by just jumping on top of the crane. This boss is cool because you just double jump when it lands and then aim for like the bridge of the nose and it just one-shots all of the terrain around it. And you can do that both times throughout the fight.
Oh, wow.
Okay, normally I would have wanted it to stomp there, but I missed it. But that's fine, hold on. Going a little slow here. It usually gets it first try. As long as we don't run out of Bonanza though, we're fine. Just missing a little bit of time. The thing I did on the phase 1 of it, you can do on the phase 2, I just kind of messed up the angle. It's a little harder because it stomps the area around, so if you're trying to do it quick, you know, the terrain is slightly lower, so when you jump, you get a slightly lower angle on it. But that's Canyon, you know? It's pretty fast, and honestly, it makes me feel cool every time I do it. Just the jumps, in my opinion, are some of the coolest ones in the run.
It's been wild to see how fast, like, just levels like that get completely broken in this game.
Oh yeah, that was like day 1. The jump you saw that I said skipped 2 bosses and like a auto-scroller section and like another half of the level basically. I think that was like day 1 or 2 people found that. The original jump people were having a lot of trouble with, and somehow it just kept getting easier the more people like found out about it, and now it's basically you can just do it without thinking.
Oh my
It's not even that much of a trick anymore, so.
That is wild.
I think if I were to play the game again casually, I probably wouldn't be able to do it without doing the speedrun like tricks. Maybe not the skips, but the tricks. That said, I think on Canyon, I might accidentally skip most of the level just because I haven't seen 2 of the bosses in like since I played it at launch, so. There's some categories that do all bosses, but I haven't messed with those yet. More of like 100% categories.
Yeah, fair.
All right, it's like embarrassing, but I feel like most speedrunners can relate to this. I forget the level order of games when I'm speedrunning. Like, you know, I'm playing it for so many hours. I've practiced the route so many times, but then if you were to ask me what level is coming up next, I probably couldn't tell you. You know, it's just you devote so much of the memory to muscle memory.
I run so many games where if you ask me what the name of the level is, I will just stare at you like, it has a name? Oh. So I feel ya.
Yeah, it's weird how the brain works like that. So I'm messing up the movement here. Normally you would go a lot faster than that, but the important part is that this area has a split, and I was doing freezer before, but I have chosen instead to do forest. I kind of wanted to push freezer as the default for this run, but I think forest is just faster, so I had to come to terms with that. But basically, you just want to go to forest. You might be thinking, don't you have to do both? If you've played the game, you might, think you have to do both, but the fact of the matter is, you do not. And we'll get into that later. but you really only need to do one of these layers because of a skip coming up. The nice thing about this layer is it's slightly faster than the one on the left there that was called Freezer. I like the Freezer one, it has some cool jumps, but the nice thing about this layer is that you can pick up Ostrich, which lets you fly, and so a lot of skips later become A, possible, and then B, more consistent. There's some cool jumps you can do in place of Ostrich, but honestly, Ostrich just makes it way easier. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute here, but basically we just want to grab a chunk, and we're going to go this way. And we're trying to get to that like big building in the background. There's some gentle pathing that you should definitely take here. Trying not to let the chunk break on the way. Then I'm going to do another A-pat here to get in this window. And then this part's kind of funny. Hold on, am I going to get it? Yeah, I am. In the background there, you can kind of see there's a wall that you're supposed to climb on, but you can just jump around it. There's so much stuff in this game like that. Like, even there's more than I'm showing in terms of like things that you can kind of sequence break, because we're sequence breaking so much that we just don't need to do half of it. But the movement tech in this game is so like fluid and flexible and allows for so much cool stuff. It's a great speed run.
Yeah, it's been fun watching.
Me out.
Yeah, it's been fun just hearing just the positivity that's been coming out of this run from like speedrunners and non-speedrunners alike. Like I've loved like seeing like little TikTok videos or YouTube shorts of people that aren't speedrunners going, "Oh my god, I feel like a speedrunner now," because they're doing these skips and these sequence breaks, and it's so cool.
Yeah, I honestly think because I was saying it about Canyon, but I think the whole game kind of has this vibe of like the movement is so fun and some of it easy to learn that it really makes you feel like a speedrunner, you know? It's one of those games where you pick up and you're like, I'm speedrunning it, but it actually feels like a speedrun, you know? Like it's not too full of glitches, so it's a little bit more accessible in some ways, but you know, everyone can learn how to do like a certain sequence of jumps that gives you a little extra height. Everyone can kind of, you know, learn how to do like jumps that do skips because they don't necessarily involve glitches. Okay, so I fell there. You're supposed to go straight to the key. That's my bad. But this is the Ostrich, and I'll explain some of the movement tech with the Ostrich in a second. But something that we have to keep in mind now that we're using Bananzas more is I have to gather gold on the way between areas, because you have this little bar at the... First of all, there's a bar next to Donkey Kong, and that's how long I have left in the Bonanza. Second of all, there's the meter in the bottom left, and we want to try to, when we're using, I missed that jump, but when we're using Bonanzas, we want to try to keep that as full as possible, because it means that we don't have to like, you know, stop and grab gold in awkward places later. So this is the tech for Ostrich. You spam the roll and punch button. Okay, well, I messed it up there. Hold on. That was my bad. Okay. If you spam the roll and punch button with the Ostrich, you get like, not only do you go faster, but it goes longer. You can kind of see it there. And this is like a normal glide, and then this is like the punch glide. It's just faster and goes further, which is nice, but it allows for so many cool skips. Okay, my forest movement is sort of bad. I do not like the bouncy stuff that's here. But we're just trying to break these as fast as possible. This one's kind of fun. This is like max distance. You'll see you have to use this roll punch strat. And then the reason I gave a skill point earlier... No, that's embarrassing. Okay, well, we died. All right, forget about what I said. There's backup strats. Don't worry, there's backup strats.
Hey, we love backup strats in this house.
Ideally, I would have saved myself some time by teleporting to the backup strat, but yeah, you can teleport back here and just do it from here if you want. But yeah, the Ostrich can go like a long distance, and that distance goes up extremely high if you get the glide skill. So in the junction level where I chose a path, if you'll recall, I got bananas, and the reason for that is so that I could get the glide skill now. And like there's an even longer jump that we'll be making soon that just basically requires it, so the amount of time that saves is not hindered by the amount of time lost getting the bananas. This is another fun one. There's a button behind this bulb kind of looking thing with the thorns that we have to press, and we can just fly like straight over it using the glide tech. This boss, I'm probably gonna focus a little, but before I get into it, I'll explain. The fast strats are basically, you want, oh well, I'm already in it, that's fine. You wanna go in with Kong Bananza, because gliding, although giving you a lot of distance and making a lot of skips possible, is kind of slow compared to just like running and other stuff. So we can use like, oh, I barely made it. Okay, we can use an AFAT there normally. I didn't apparently need it, but, and then the goal is to finish the fight all in one Bananza. You see my meter is like getting dangerously low there, but we can actually defeat the boss before it runs out. The nice thing is Kong Bananza does more damage than base DK, which is kind of, it's one of the reasons that you don't want it to run out before the end, but also, you know, if it doesn't run out, that means you're doing it faster.
Nice, nice.
Normally, in a casual playthrough, whether you do that or not, you might have to go down below, grab some gold, use the tunnels to lift off, etc. But we can kind of just like jump straight to every phase of the boss. And yeah, we're going to, I want to say, this might be one of the longest splits. I'm not 100% sure. But we do have a tunnel coming up. I don't know if you have any more announcements you want to make, but there'll be a empty section for a moment.
Well, I did want to give some shout outs from chat, specifically directed at you, because you being able to play this, and again, it's super new and things are still getting like routed frequently and daily, and you are doing an absolute bang up job with solo commentary. Like, chat is popping off for you for that, so I wanted to make sure that you were aware. Because also,
thank you so much.
Isn't this also your first time on GDQ? I think maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So yeah, chat. It's give some additional love for that. We have a GDQ game debut and a GDQ runner debut today.
Yeah, I started streaming less than a year ago, so between then and now, I haven't had a chance to be on GDQ, I guess.
Well, you are doing amazingly.
New.
You honestly wouldn't be able to tell. Like, you are doing a bang up job.
All right, so this part is kind of fun. I transformed there, not for any particular reason, but just so that the banana energy meter lines up in a second here, but you can kind of just jump off the side there. And then, remember when I said we could skip an entire layer? Well, basically, what I just broke, you'll notice there's no bridge over there and everything's like covered in purple. That's because we haven't done Freezer. But the nice thing, and hold on, I just want to make sure I get this because you can mess it up. There we go. So we're doing like a huge jump over here. Normally, you would build a bridge all the way across. But by doing that jump, we don't have to touch Freezer literally at all. Freezer allows you to break another thing, which then, you know, opens up that bridge and you can just walk across. But because we have Ostrich, we can skip an entire layer, and we don't, there is a way to break the other button without going to Freezer, but we don't even need to do that much. That's how good Ostrich is. So the reason I switched to doing Forest over Freezer is because you do save a little time there. This one's not super skippable. There's some cool tech you can do in the menus that people have talked about. I haven't bothered to like learn it, but you can use the joystick and the D-pad at the same time to scroll through this menu faster. That's one of those levels of optimization that I'm like holding off on. Wow. I'm not quite ready for that one. But this boss is really cool. I'll explain it the best I can. We do some like, I don't know if I go as far as to say anything as complicated as like AI manipulation, but at the same time, that would be the most accurate thing. First of all, we just have to throw chunks at the boss, and you can predict where it's going to be. And by predict, I mean like it always goes to the same spots, so you can just kind of, you know, preemptively throw the chunks. Then, this is the cool part. We're going to go up here, throw a chunk at the boss, then we're going to stand behind this line, and the boss is going to run past us and go up there. We want to chase it. Drop the chunk so we don't accidentally hit it, wait for it to start an animation, throw the chunk, and then while the chunk is still in the air, run towards it. What that does is the boss starts an animation that it can't leave. But as the chunk is flying through the air, we cross the like a loading zone or something that triggers the final phase of the boss, where it would normally travel like super far away and you'd have to throw a chunk at it. And so we cross that line, it enters the final phase. and then the chunk hits it, and then it acts as though we hit it during the final phase, which ends the fight a little earlier than normal.
Whoa! Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like I haven't learned the same thing on this part to the same degree. I'll try to get it, but this fight has a similar strategy. I don't know if it saves as much time as the other one, and I'll try to get it, but it's a little bit more tricky. This one, though, again, you can kind of predict where it goes, but instead of throwing chunks, you just want to chase it down. And the trick on this one is that we're going to go hit it while it's here. Then if we go over here and try to... Oh, okay, I missed it. So if you hit it while it's doing the transition there, you can get the end, like, right as you do that surf thing I did. If not, again, the difference in speed is just that I had to throw something, so it's only a couple seconds difference, but there are some cool strats similar to that. It's just not as easy to pull off. A little bit more timing-based. And this boss, if you haven't played the game, has 3 phases, so yes, we are fighting it again. The last phase... I don't know if the last phase has any cool, like, AI manipulation type stuff in the same way. For the most part, what I focus on is the bridge is really slow because... Okay, let me start at the end. There's an order of operations here. So basically, in the next level, we want to have our Bananza meter fully charged to do a skip. And we don't want to have, you know, we want it to be full, so we don't have to collect gold at the start of the next level. Which means that I can't really use a Bananza right now, because otherwise I'll run out of the Bananza energy. So instead, because if you were Kong Bananza, you could just... Oh, no! No! All right, well, we're gonna die and reset. Sorry about that.
RNG manipulation every time.
That was weird.
Wait, has that happened before?
It happens. It's a pretty bad time save, or time loss, I mean, but it happens. What I was gonna say is that my focus on this part of the level is, if possible, which it just broke, so it's not anymore, but I try to grab the dirt and surf across, because you gain, you gain so much more time surfing across than if you're just walking. So doing that thing where I said, like, extending your chunk by jumping is really good here. And then here is about where you want a Kong Bananza, because then it allows you to pick something up and get across this lava a little bit easier. And by the time we finish the fight, we should still be in the Kong Bananza form. And what this game does is, if you finish something, or if like a major cutscene is triggered while, like, mainly boss cutscenes, but I almost forgot to jump over that. That would have been bad. Okay, if a major cutscene, mostly boss cutscenes, are triggered while you're in Bananza form, unfortunately we are going to run out of Bananza because I forgot to skip that jump, but I'll show you some backup strats if you're worried about gold going into the next area. Normally, if this cutscene happened while I was a Kong Bananza, I would actually regain my entire meter because the game takes you out of the Bananza and then gives you back, like, a compensation prize. Here, that cannon is really slow, so we can just jump straight into the hole ourselves. We don't have to take the cannon, which is just like really cool. It feels great every time. I think it only saves a couple seconds, but it's so fun. I love stuff like that.
I was like, where are you going right now? Oh, giant hole. Okay.
Yeah, the cannon has, like, an arc. So you get in the cannon, it shoots you kind of up and then in, and there's, like, a whole animation. It gives you kind of, like, you know, like Breath of the Wild, it shows you, like, the scenery and unfolds the beautiful image before your eyes, but speedrunners are like, nah, I'm good. And then it just jumps in the hole. It was a good time.
It's like, that's nice. Anyway, jump.
Yeah. Something I haven't mentioned is you do want to avoid gold in these tunnels, because as you'll see at the end here, it counts down your gold, and if you get enough gold, it can literally add seconds to the run just doing the countdown from however much you had to 0. So when you're in that tunnel, you know, rhythmically pressing B, that's something to keep in mind. This one is really fun. This is, I think, the shortest split in the entire run, and I'll try to focus, because if I don't get this angle right, it can mess it up. Oh, okay, well, backup strats. It's still gonna be short, but so that thing that I hit makes a rainbow bridge when you hit it, and if you get it at the right angle, you can walk or surf along the rainbow bridge and it comes over to this tower. Then as the ostrich, you can pick up the rainbow piece and use that to get all the way up and then glide to the top to do what I'm doing right now manually. And then you just end up here as the ostrich a lot faster, and then you can bust through and go to the end of the level. Normally, you have to fly all the way up and then come down on top of the watermelon, press a button, and then it like opens up a path to the bottom and then you get through, but again, that's way easier. There's like a lip around the watermelon's tower that is indestructible, which is why I had to do like a specific jump or use ostrich there. Otherwise, you can't just like climb up manually. It does take a little bit of trickery, but it's not that bad. The actual skip, though, is way cooler. You'll have to trust me on that one. The rainbow bridge, when you get it right, is really nice. I think we're heading, again, it's like embarrassing not to remember the order of the levels. I think we're heading to Tempest, though. And Tempest is another one with like a 3-phase boss fight. Mm-hmm. And I hope I get the fast strats on it because they're really fun. But this is fun fact, because there's nothing else to really describe while we're in the start of it. I've also been streaming and like doing minimum transformation runs, which is kind of like minimum captures in Mario Odyssey, if you think of it that way. And other than having to complete 2 tutorials for Bonanzas, the Kong and the Elephant Bonanza is actually the only Bonanza in the game that the game like requires you to use and that no one has found a way to skip. So that's kind of cool. I like to think of it as like the one true Bonanza, because it's the only time that DK is required not to be in his like normal DK form. I'm gonna transform here. I like to pre-rotate my camera because you want to jump on this and hit that wing before it turns around, because if it does, then you can hit the second wing really fast. And the reason I transformed is because Donkey Kong in the Kong Bananza form does more damage, like I said earlier, so you can like down punch on it and it saves, I think someone said 1.5 seconds. You know, speedrunners, I guess we're always trying to get any time save, no matter how small, so might as well. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it only saves 1.5 seconds. Should I really be doing it? Oh, no, I dropped the record. That's fine. Should I really be doing this for 1.5 seconds? But then you think about it and you're like, okay, but what about the, you know, the theoretical scenario where I got world record plus 1.5 seconds? And then you just kind of, you know,
accept fate at that point.
No matter how difficult.
Nah, I get it.
I'm doing some more safe strats. It's not working out completely. I'm messing up a lot here. But I am trying to stick to some safer strats. But there's some more certain jumps you can do that are like riskier that save time. I just didn't want to like, you know, have a higher miss rate than I probably was already going to, so. But I am practicing those for like actual runs, and those are the ones that save like, you know, it's like a jump that if you mess up loses 10 seconds but saves 2 seconds if you make it, so. Here we go. This is the second record piece, and that means that we can get the Elephant Bonanza, which like I said is the only required one. Otherwise, if there was like a skip for it, we'd just do that, because I don't think in this run at least there's any other point where we're going to use the Elephant Bonanza. I think so. I've watched a couple other runs in this category for trans percent, and I think I have a different route for landfill than other people do. Some people use elephant for landfill. I actually found like a way to, there's a point where if you clip out, well, I'll explain it later, but I think my route is a little different, so that's why I'm not using elephant. But if you've seen trans percent and you've watched like the world record, you might have thought I was going to use elephant. But no, we're only using elephant here. And as someone who's also running that other category with the minimum transformations, I kind of despise the elephant transformation just a little. It's the only thing keeping us from like a theoretical no Bonanza run.
Oh, wow.
It's very sad. I like weird challenge run type stuff, you know, like pushing the bounds of games and seeing like how little or how much you have to do is always fun. This is the thing, by the way, there's a key in this tornado. People have literally touched the key, and even touching it in the tornado, it doesn't do anything. So we think it's basically hard-coded to only work with the elephant inhale ability. And otherwise it's just not, it doesn't like even exist basically. So here we do the same thing. I'm gonna pre-turn my camera, except this time we're the elephant, and so all that stuff I just like sucked up as the elephant, you can actually take out and throw as a projectile. And then after the boss goes down, we can turn to Kong Bananza, which again saves like 1.5 seconds in damage. Oh, and then this is kind of fun. Again, I'm gonna describe it after it's already happening. There's another time, actually 2 more times that you'll see it, so keep an eye out for there. But every time you see me go down one of those like tornado parts, where I have to down punch, you can save, I don't know how much time, but probably like 1 second or 2 on those parts by pressing B real fast and then letting go and then holding B, because you enter like this weird spinning roll animation. This is a fun jump. That again, I used a fat there, which is the fast air turf surf. This part I am a little worried about. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, so in the tornadoes, you can down punch and then let go and then hold down punch. And what it does is you enter like a roll animation, and then that roll animation actually puts you down through the tornado. And then if you like you go really low in the tornado, and then you just start holding it again to continue. It looks a little weird, but it's really fun. That was another one of those cool ostrich jumps that I was talking about earlier. And then here, make sure to grab some gold for the banana energy, and then this rock. I've lost a couple runs to accidentally using other rocks on this zip line. Basically, the zip line is that's an AFAT right there, like I was talking about earlier, but the zip line is like so long and it degrades the chunks so fast that if you don't use that rock, they just kind of like break and you fall into the void. So you grab some rainbow ore with the elephant, and then we use that stored sort of like chunk sphere or elephant sphere. I forget what people are calling it. We can jump into this window, and then here's another one of the things. You see, I hold it and then I roll down and then I keep going. If you just hold it from the top, you go like a lot slower. And then this is another example. See, I'm almost out of the banana or the elephant. Oh, but no, okay. I have energy in the back, so it doesn't matter. Here, you want to make sure to hit that before it turns around. Oh, okay, I missed, but that's fine. We can just take it a little slow. Never mind. Backup strats. This is the intended way, is you just like grab the material from the outside there. I'm messing up the fight pretty bad here, unfortunately. There we go.
This like legally distinct Swablu is being a butt right now. Shout out to the Pokemon friends.
This phase is like, it gets me quite a few times. I wouldn't call it a run killer, but it's like a 10 to 15 second time loss instantly if you kind of miss the shot.
There's always one boss. No matter what game, there's always one boss.
As the last one too, that you can think of this as the final boss of Trans Percent. There are no more bosses.
And chat, you better be ready for when this runs over. I want to see that chat covered in trans flags of all kinds.
Oh yeah, for sure. They got like the built-in Twitch one with the hands and the heart.
Of course, there's GDQ right? Trans Pride. There's the Twitch hearts.
Oh, you have one too?
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of really cool ones. Which, mind you, now if you want to get that GDQ Trans Pride one, now is the perfect time to sub to the channel. You can get those awesome emotes. You can help keep shows running and just get ad-free viewing, access to chat during replays, and a whole bunch more. So yeah, this would be a perfect time to get those subs in.
And I want to say you've got an estimated under 2 minutes to get it, if you want to start spamming it when I finish the run.
Oh, I've got mine ready.
So this layer is fun. I am going to lock in a little and probably get slightly more quiet for parts of it, because you can easily lose like 30 seconds to a minute here if you get tilted and miss the clip. But basically, we're gonna go down here. We're gonna land. I'm gonna surf over to a part on the wall and climb it. And then we get to this weird, like, sort of crevice in the wall that has a specific shape. And if you push yourself into that crevice, you can get out of bounds. And this layer is basically just like a digging simulator. It's full of dirt all the way to the bottom. And that is the intended way, but we can go out of bounds and just skip all of the dirt and then go for the fossil route that I have. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna focus for a minute. Oh, first try, never mind.
Oh, pop off.
So we're out of bounds. I'm gonna count for a second. I like to count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then transform. And then you want to be Kong Bananza. Sometimes you get stuck there and it's like infinite, so be careful. But my route is you grab one fossil here. We're going for 10 or 8, sorry. You grab one there. Then you can punch through the walls here to grab another. If you jump, down punch, and roll out here, that's one more. There's one right behind you if you turn around. Over here, you can like grab a chunk off the wall, and sometimes that breaks it. If not, just hit it. Then there's another through here. You go down here. There's one more right through here. Hold on, I gotta get rid of the chunk. It's in the way. So you grab that one, and then that literally drops us off right outside the shop, which is why I like taking that route. And then here is the run, all right? This is the fur color. Make sure you buy the correct one, otherwise that's the run destroyer. This is like accidentally pressing A on the wrong thing. And then the run is gonna end as soon as I press A on looking good, so I'll shout it out when it happens. But you wanna equip, press B, and then now. That's the run. That was it.
GG's.
You blink and you miss it, but we've equipped the fur color, and I'll show it off as well.
Love it. Love it.
There it is.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, it's a fun run. I would recommend it highly to people who want to get into speedrunning the game and have been looking at, you know, maybe any percent, but they're like, I don't want to do a run that long, or there's some tricks towards the end that look hard, because this is just, you can, everything except for landfill, and even the clip in landfill is transferable, but everything except for landfill is basically transferable to an any percent. Like, I could have just now continued on a run for any percent, and I would have lost only a little bit of time equipping the fur color, and then we're just in any percent, you know? So it's a great introduction speed run for people who want something shorter and that can also have like extreme transferable skills to the main category.
Oh, that is so cool. And yeah, chat is popping off with the trans flag, so y'all are awesome. But while they are doing that, and keep those flags coming, love to see it. Pixel Parakeet, where can they find you? What do you currently run in? What categories do you run in? Now is the time to shout yourself out, because you deserve it.
All right, thank you. So basically, I have a YouTube channel, which is YouTube, well, I don't know how you do it, but youtube.com/whatever user thing, and then @pixelparakeet, just as you see it displayed here. For that one, I do some speedrunning content. I do some challenge runs, you know, some like, sort of like idea content, like, oh, can you do this in this game? Or what about this in that game? Like that kind of stuff. And then on stream recently, I've been doing a lot of this, which is, you know, trans percent, but then also one of my new favorite runs to do, and I have a video about it on the channel as well, but one of my new favorite like speed runs to do, I'm doing it as a speed run now, is, like I said, the minimum transformations, which is basically beating the game, only getting the Kong Bananza through the tutorial but never using it, getting the elephant through the tutorial and only using it for the key, and then the rest of the game is without it. Which creates a lot of really interesting strats, especially towards the end, because obviously the bonanzas you get, people use to make the run faster and more convenient and learn lots of tricks around them. And so the minimum transformation run, the further in you get, the more it kind of diverges from any percent. Currently, this is sort of like a call to action. Currently, I'm the only person on the leaderboard, so if that sounds interesting to you, you know, obviously try out trans percent. It's great, especially if you want to get into something shorter and get into any percent, but also, you know, consider doing minimum transformations too and giving me some competition on there. But I'm streaming that at twitch.tv/pixelparakeet as displayed here. Yeah, and that's been fun. I also do some like variety content, just like normal gaming, but recently it's been a lot of speedruns.
Well, GG Pixel Parakeet, it was so fun to have you, and congrats on your GDQ debut for such a fantastic run of trans percent in Donkey Kong Bananza. And when we before we head to break, just want to remind everybody that if you want to get more involved with the GDQ community, you should be joining our official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix Enjoy Your Role. You can stay in the loop on upcoming events. You can chat. Hello again, friends. We are back with some awesome mascot-themed runs on this episode of Express Lane. But really quickly, because there's a lot of marathons and super cool things coming up, PAX West, GDQ is going to be returning to it from August 29th to September 1st, which according to my wrist is actually really soon. So in the next break, you might want to go to gdq.gg/PAX West so you can check out the schedule, visit the west.paxsite.com. However you want to do it, and you can learn more about the event and some of the super cool runs that are going to be there. All right, now we have done some Donkey Kong. Later on, we're going to get some Ratchet and Clank, but as I saw in chat, we're going to be destroying our childhood first and foremost with the OpenGOAL version of Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, with no LTS, run by one of our wonderful moderators in chat. So shout out some mod love to Mr. Zach Guy. Hello, friend. What is OpenGOAL? I am so curious.
So OpenGOAL is a fan-made PC port of the original 3 Jak and Daxter games. Jak 1 and 2 are fully playable. Jak 3 is... Bark, how's Jak 3 going?
It's pretty far along. It's, I would say maybe like... past 75%, getting close to the 90% range.
So soon-ish, registered trademark.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, whenever you want to start, give the 1, 2, 3 countdown, and we'll kick things off.
So time is actually just going to start when Jak's feet touch the ground. So go.
All right. Good luck.
Good luck.
So, have there, like, what changes, if anything, has come with the OpenGOAL version, or is it kept pretty faithful to the original 3 games?
The major difference is that you can change the analog stick direction.
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of people maybe were not fans of the inverted controls, so you can turn that back to some more standard controls if you want. There's some other things like obviously we can render it at a better resolution than on PS2, and some small quality of life things. We added like a speedrunner mode that hides some annoying pop-ups and little things like that. There's another big one that influences speedrun quite a bit, which is being able to skip cutscenes. On PS2 in Jak 1, you can't skip any cutscenes, so there's a lot of downtime actually in the no LTS run on console. Here we can skip cutscenes, so we can actually choose to do different cells that would normally have really long cutscenes that wouldn't be worth it. And so we end up grabbing a lot more precursor orbs like Zach's grabbing here, so that we can buy more cells throughout the run and skip those cutscenes and overall get more cells more quickly.
Also means you get to see tricks like wet feet here in a moment.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, this is a pretty silly trick. By jumping in that fountain earlier, we set up the wet feet.
Oh,
which
no,
is
we
going
didn't.
to. Oh, all right, that's all right.
Maybe. I'm not sure I passed that plane.
We'll find out here. Oh yeah, okay. So we got
nice.
that standpoint there midair. That's the wet feet. But benefit of wet feet, we can get that standpoint and then kick off another like extended and actually get up to that ledge all in kind of one big jump, which is pretty cool and a lot faster. And on PS2, I think it's not optimal to do that because we need to go back that way to talk to the Oracle, who has a couple power cells over there. That's just where it's quickest to pick up power cells in the console route where we have to watch cutscenes.
Like while we're doing some fishing, I see love in chat that I totally need to pass on. It's like, I don't run Jak, but I do play Jak and have played through OpenGOAL, and y'all have done amazing work, and it's such a faithful way to play the game, yet I adore the quality of life changes, especially the Jak 1 subtitles I mentioned already.
Oh, yeah, of course. Subtitle support. That's another big one.
That I am a big fan of, for sure, so...
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It also, we kind of do like fan crowd translations. So if you go to the OpenGOAL website, there you can find more info on how to like contribute translations. But it lets us, if there's a language that isn't supported, we can in theory add it to the game, which is just pretty cool in terms of text, not so much for the voice lines, obviously.
Oh, I love it. And then the no LTS. Could you kind of do a quick explanation of what that is, per se?
Sure. So we're trying to collect power cells, which we've kind of glossed over throughout this this intro explanation here. But to get to the end of the game as the developers intended, you need to get there's a few different like checkpoints where you need to hit a certain number of power cells. So you have to get 20 power cells to get through Fire Canyon. You're supposed to get 45 power cells to get through Mountain Pass. And you're supposed to get 72 power cells to get through Lava Tube. So Lava Tube skip, as you can guess, is bypassing that 72 cell requirement. There's some funky out of bounds and taking advantage of things in the game that we can do to bypass that 72 cell requirement. But it's a pretty complicated trick. It's not the easiest. And it definitely cuts the length of the category by quite a bit. So no LTS is kind of closer to like a no major skips kind of category.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that because there is an actual no major skip category that is less popular, but we just kind of pretend that one doesn't exist.
There's a no major skips category?
Yeah, you can't do boulder skip and you can't do Citadel skip at the end. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hard pass.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like, boulder skip, yeah. Citadel, no.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, no boulders.
Why is Citadel skip a hard pass on the no major skips? I'm not.
It's
You have my
basically a difference of running the level or not.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Citadel is
Citadel
like
skip
20
is-
seconds.
Yeah. It's a pretty significant skip. Otherwise, you have to do almost the entire level to get through it.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, thanks Andromeda for reminding me of all the things I'm not mentioning about OpenGOAL. But yeah, we can do mods basically because it's decompiled. We essentially have the source code, and we can rewrite the game however we want. So we can do all kinds of mods. We can do custom levels. Yeah, one of my friends, good member of the community, Zed, took the Mort the Chicken PS1 game and basically ported it to Jak and Daxter and put power cells where the different chickens would be, and it's a really good time. I definitely recommend checking that one out.
You had my attention at Mort the Chicken.
Right?
Like, all right, I'm in. So actually, yeah, what has been your role in OpenGOAL for those that might not know?
Yeah, there's a few other developers who definitely started it before I was ever involved. The kind of first thing I did was actually something Zach mentioned earlier about fixing the inverted controls. That was like can I add something to this that's actually useful, like proof of concept for myself. That was the first thing I worked on. And then I just sort of made a relationship, I would say, with the other developers over some time, and could give them feedback on things that were working well, or maybe bugs that I found that presented themselves in mods but weren't such a big issue in the vanilla game or something like that. And yeah, I can't say I've done a whole lot of the decompilation effort, but I've just sort of been, I would say, on the sidelines, kind of helping those guys test different changes and giving them feedback on what works for mod support and that sort of thing.
And what is going on in this fight? Because I see you were headbanging against a wall for a little bit there.
Definitely an important strat. No, I just like to do that.
Fair. Hey, if you like to do that, I call that an important strat. Anything to pass the time and keep things engaging always works.
Well, that bodes well. First boosted didn't happen. Okay, second boosted, actually. And now we're putting
Okay,
the
that one's
camera
not
into
too
another
bad.
load area so that we can just load save and be here instead.
Oh, hello.
Little checkpoint warp kind of thing.
Love it.
I guess that's another not small, but benefit of the PC port is things just load a little bit quicker. So that save and load is probably 10 times faster than it would be on PS2.
Oh, nice. And yeah, for people in chat, if like you have any questions about the run or OpenGOAL in general, like definitely put those in chat and we can relay them as we go.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
I think we're okay.
Yay.
Nice, nice.
Everything's fine.
Just everybody hit him with sticks. I'm so glad I still got the views.
Yeah, that little guy can be really annoying to chase if you don't grab him kind of right away. There's a little, I don't know if it's really a manip, but you can basically quick grab him right away if you don't mess up too bad. That was a little close, but you know, we take it for sure. Better than chasing him around for 30 seconds.
I mean, the smart thing to do is just to get him at the end of the level if you miss him. But
Yeah.
I never remember to do that. I always chase him down. And then I'm like, why did I do that?
It's kind of personal after a point when he runs away from you, you know?
Yeah, I can think of a few games I run where it's the same thing. Like if I don't catch them right away, it's like, nope, we're no.
Nice. That roll jump can be a little bit scary.
Yeah, I'm noticing that like spinning jump that's been done a few times. That kind of like the main movement tech or jump tech throughout the run.
Yeah, the spin kick can, depending on how you time it, it can give you a little bit of extra height, but it definitely can carry your momentum and let you cross for, you know, some wider gaps and stuff. So it gets used quite a lot. The uppercut attack is pretty useful as well, especially if you do it in a certain way where you're slipping off the ledge. It does the boosted uppercut, and that one we use all over the place to clear some unintended gaps.
I see those bouncy logs. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember dying to those a lot. More times than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, me in practice most of the last week. If you get the timing right, then you can destroy these balloon lurkers. There's two methods. One is just to do it really fast, which I can't. The second is to die and then reset the cycle. And then hopefully catch that guy in the air.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Learning fast cycle is still on my to-do list as well. I always do the death one.
I believe dying it resets it to just the same cycle every time.
Yeah, it should be. As long as you you move through the level the same way, it should always be the same from a death, I think. This game does a pretty classic thing where it's like, I mean, generally speaking, the rule is like if something isn't on screen, it gets deloaded. It doesn't waste time trying to draw it or whatever. And the balloon lurkers kind of behave that way too. So depending on where you go in the level, you can actually deload them and reset their cycle. And I think that's used as part of the faster cycle. They do that intentionally. Yeah.
Very important to fall off the first time. Pro strat.
Nice. Yeah, that's a boosted uppercut there. That one can definitely be a little tricky. The way the ledge slips off there is kind of funky.
Oh, great. Dane and Allie are talking. Hi, Allie. Although, how dare you, Allie, for pointing out that I'm nervous. All right, now for the worst boss in this entire game. Finding my uncle's doorway. Nope. Nope. I hate doors in this game. And desks, apparently.
Just furniture in general.
Yeah, anything that's in my way. Just a flat plane.
No, it's valid. Actually, there was a question I saw a little bit earlier, and my internet decided to like hyper spike for a second there, and I wasn't able to ask it. But there was a question if there's practice mods in OpenGOAL.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Zach and I both actually have contributed a little bit to the practice mod. But yeah, there's one for, it's the same thing, but for Jack 1 and 2. You can set like, they're not quite save states like an emulator, but you can set like custom checkpoints that you can quickly warp back to and retry tricks over and over. There's some preset ones as well for some of the common speedrun tricks.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And then these games actually have a pretty cool dev menu that's left in the game. You have on like PS2, you would need a special developer PS2 to see it, but in OpenGOAL, there's an option where you can reboot into debug mode and you can use the menu. And that thing has a lot of really powerful tools to see like where levels load and unload and things like that. So that's kind of another benefit, I guess you could say, of OpenGOAL as well.
Oh, cool.
Is having access to that.
Yeah, with some of the tricks I've seen thus far, being able to set those states is absolutely a banger of a quality life right there.
I don't know if I would be running this game if there wasn't the Misty boosted checkpoint in that practice mod. No joke. Because before I even started, I just did that several hundred times until I got it.
I believe you. Yeah, it was even mentioned in chat. It's like just don't. Misty is a little finicky. Yeah, you handle it like a pro. Oh, to answer another question in chat, this is actually a PC port of the original 2, and then in parentheses 3 Jack games in the OpenGOAL setup. So definitely might want to check that out. Friend in chat that's asked.
Yeah, there's actually a 4th game that Naughty Dog built using the original Goal engine, Jack X. It's a racing game, also in the Jack and Daxter universe. And it's possible that will get the OpenGOAL treatment. In theory, it should work the same way. But the developers haven't necessarily like committed to it since they were just a little bit more interested in the first 3 games. And they've also been doing this for like 5+ years now. So
Jack,
they have their own lives and other things to work on that keeps them busy.
Jack X is a game that I haven't thought of for a while, and that just unlocked a core memory. And friends, I just want you to know, in case you want to feel old today, that is, if I remember correctly, that's a 20-year-old game, because I believe that came out in 2005-ish.
Ow.
It's got to be pretty close. Because Jack 1 was 2001.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2005 for Jack X, it looks like.
Oh, jeez. Enjoy knowing that's 2 decades old, friends. Yep, Jack X Combat Racing, that's it in chat.
Good job. Now beat me here by the egg.
Oops. Very important to hit the bird lady first. It's going to be a bit of a theme.
No, that's fair. Especially if it falls into the birds are jerks trope, then there you go.
I don't know. I think Flufffoot's pretty great.
Flufffoot's good. The seagulls we saw earlier can be a pain
Terrible.
sometimes.
There we go.
Yeah, that's right. 2 out of the 3 birds in the game are... Whoops, what am I doing? Are terrible. So yes, on average, terrible birds.
I just like how you went to the menu, that snake popped up. You're like, hey, what's going on here? Oh, you're leaving.
I love seeing where the game pauses when I bring up that menu.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, the question about like PS2s running OpenGOAL, definitely not at the resolution that they're rendering, and also the OpenGOAL project isn't necessarily looking to recompile. Sometimes there's like true recompilation projects where it matches exactly. That's not the goal of OpenGOAL. It is to be a PC port, so there are going to be differences in it, and it does it targets the PC architecture, which is very different from the PS2. So there's a lot of reasons basically, but it would not be able to run on PS2, no.
I mean, I'd say the continuous level in Jak and Daxter was already a pretty great technical achievement for the PS2.
Yeah? You're not wrong there.
Yeah, I think it's disputed a little bit, but in the Guinness Book of World Records, I'm pretty sure they give it to Jak 1 for having the first, I think they call it seamless 3D world without like loading screens or anything.
Wow.
Someone will probably call out some other PS1 game that does something very similar, but yeah, I think Jak and Daxter was pretty, still pretty revolutionary at the time.
Oops. The obligatory door bonk. Part 2. Electric Boogaloo. The perfectly timed second bonk.
Yeah, you know, some people are good at some tricks. I'm just good at hitting every doorway I can.
Hitting door percent when?
Oh, and I think I've got the best case of Stockholm Syndrome because I'm going to do moles.
Oh.
Moles is great.
I like moles.
I like moles too.
I also really like not learning stalag hops.
Yep. So this mole cell, if done well, can be pretty quick. Looks like Zach got 1 in there.
Oh, neat.
Oh, and 2. Nice.
Ooh.
They don't exactly follow where you're pointing them. They sometimes just have a mind of their own. But you're trying to get them back in this hole. And yeah. Oh, okay. That one went in. I think this one will go in too then. Nice.
Hooray.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So that cell, or there's another cell later on in the game that you may choose to do one or the other to get to 72 in the end, because they have comparable times, depending on how well you can do moles and the other trick. But yeah, the other trick, if you mess it up, there's a pretty severe penalty, I guess. So I don't know. I usually do moles as well.
Well, the moles, who are absolutely adorable, decided to behave. So GG moles. Nice moles. Love to see it. Yep. Agreed, chat. got jump scared by that. I was not expecting that.
Oh yeah, so here's another trick actually that only works on OpenGOAL, at least this particular way.
Oh, it's my favorite.
So the way you're supposed to go take this green eco and cure all those dark plants. But if you actually just cure sort of the first one in the list of, I don't know, 32 or however many there are, and then you run away and you deload the other guys, it'll just complete it all of a sudden for you.
Oh.
And you can just get the power cell. And you grab some orbs on the way. It's pretty good.
Love it.
In theory, you can do the same trick on PS2, but the spot where we do the deload trick doesn't seem to work the same way on PS2 as it does on OpenGOAL. I don't think we know exactly why that is, but we'll take it for OpenGOAL, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it saved me from having to learn one cycle plants.
Mm-hmm.
I will always love those celebration screens. I feel better I'm not the only one that got jump scared from Jak 1. Had the volume off because it was late and the shark got me. Yeah, that would do it.
All right, now for probably my least favorite level.
Little death warp in to save some time, faster than the elevator. Yeah, so this level has a couple of nifty skips in it. We're going to grab a cell in this next room, pretty much as intended. We do a couple boosted to get over there, but...
well, we tried to.
Okay, one boosted to get over there.
Oh, come on.
Sorry, I jinxed you.
There we go.
Later
Nice.
in this level, we'll do a couple of skips that we go out of bounds and sort of just skip directly to the cell instead of doing it as intended. I guess I'll wait till we get there to start talking about them.
Very nice.
Yeah, the tricks in this level are very nice when they go well. And very aggravating when they don't.
Yeah, I think when first starting learning no LTS, these tricks can definitely be a bit of a wall. So this is a puzzle room. The developers intended you to jump on all of these like 16 or so platforms
Larry,
and light them
go
up.
away.
Yeah, our friend Larry here likes to guard them. But we can actually just jump over the wall here and jump right.
Oh,
We got caught.
Rip. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
There we
And
go.
we jump into the little
Let's try.
chamber.
Yeah.
And then you
Nobody
saw
ever
Zach
won the
took
tape.
damage. And Zach took damage when we came in, so we can do another little death warp here quickly
Nice,
to get
nice.
back. All right, so now this is sort of the second big skip, which is called piggyback, and you'll see why it's called that in a second.
I was really scared I jumped too late there.
What?
Nice. There we go.
What?
That's piggyback skip.
Nicely
That saves
done.
this there's a terrible climb you have to do from the bottom of this level with this dark eco chasing you. And we just skipped all of that with that trick. Nice. Another boosted to grab this one.
And also, anything that goes wrong in this level, chat's already blaming Larry, so you are free and clear.
It's always Larry's fault.
It's always.
Is Larry the shark? I can't remember what we named the stupid floating guy.
I think one of them is Larry and one's Larry Jr., but I always forget which one's which.
It checks out. They're both Larry. It's fine.
All right, so now we're charging up some soccer balls with blue eco for some reason. And that makes our little escape chamber here open. So we're going to take that in a second to get out of this level. First, we have one more cell to grab and one more skip to do.
Oh, what? I fully expected that to fail. I mean,
Nice.
of course.
Looked good to me.
I'm just like sitting here mind blown at how easily you're making all these wall clips look, personally.
Doing my best.
Well, I think you're doing a heckin' good job, and chat would agree. Right, chat? Glaring at you from the past. In the future. I don't know. Time is weird. You get what I'm saying.
Okay, first we're going to get money to a gambler. Good idea. Pay for the fighter's therapy.
That's thoughtful. Yep, the chat is coming in with love right now because chat is awesome and they speak the truth. Yeah.
Don't worry, he meant to leave that cell. We're going to grab it later. We're just not in any rush to grab it right this second.
Oh, great. It's all gone wrong.
Huh.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Get a safety checkpoint.
Yeah, this game has some funny spots where you only get a checkpoint going in one direction, so we have to double back there since we're kind of going through the level backwards right now.
Oh, weird.
And then we do a funny little out of bounds trick here.
Oh, maybe.
Ooh, yep, okay.
Oh.
So we're out of bounds right now. We got to get back in bounds. Looks good. Nice.
Very nice.
Love the rat just hanging in midair there.
Right. Like, I'm doing my part.
And we're going to see the return of the Flup Flup bird that we rescued from their egg earlier. Or destroyed their egg earlier. I guess I don't know if we did them a favor or not. But we love Flut Flut. She's really good at picking up orbs really quickly and climbing up trees and things.
Oh. Come on. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
And we have one more funny out of bounds here.
Wow, walls really are suggestions. Love this.
Yeah, they made a lot of assumptions about where you were going to be able to get to and not.
Not fair.
This frog better not get me.
Oh, that was scary. I'm still scared. Okay.
That frog's like, I'm about to wreck this man's career.
Oh, one more out of bounds. I forgot about this one. Yep. Pretty solid bogey.
Yeah, no. I haven't passed. There it is. Now I've passed my gold split. But like the level's almost over. Oh, I needed more damage. Whoops.
Yeah, we're doing another death warp here because it's a bit of a trek back to the start of the level. And then we're going to pick up that cell we left behind earlier.
Nice.
And we're going to do a major skip here. We're going to do boulder skip. Normally you talk to Kira and you have to have 45 power cells to lift that boulder, but you can climb on that rock in the funny way and just skip the whole thing.
Oh.
In OpenGOAL, it doesn't really save that much time because you can skip the cutscene talking to Kira and you already have 45 cells. Yeah, but it's cooler.
Agreed.
Sorry, Barg, I'm still going to do wobble walk.
All right. So now we're going to see one of maybe Jack 1's most infamous tricks, the idle deload. Oh boy. This is like a game gets confused type trick. Whenever you stand still for 30 seconds, normally there's like a little idle animation that plays where Jack and Daxter kind of like talk to each other or do something silly. You can interrupt that by either pausing at the right time or holding one of the 4 face buttons, X, square, triangle, or circle. And what happens when you interrupt that is it cancels the idle animation and basically the game freaks out because it thinks it couldn't load the idle animation or something. And it tries to restore the level information from a backup of the level information that it took at some point. And so when we went to see Claw a second ago, the big scary monster in the lava, that's when the game took a backup and said, oh, you're in Mountain Pass. When we died, the game freaked out with the idle animation deload thing there and said, oh, you're supposed to be in Mountain Pass. And it picks the closest checkpoint and we skip past Claw.
Oh, wow.
I think I explained most of that correctly. I'm sure I fumbled some details.
I mean, as far as I know.
That's the general idea. You make the game think you're in another level. You do some funny stuff. It puts you in that level, and you can kind of manipulate where in that level it puts you.
Love it. Actually, do quick announcement because I saw somebody chat speaking the truth about how awesome the runner's doing and not trolling the streamer. Sure, you're talking about us? Yes, I'm talking about you. Y'all are being super wholesome and super, super awesome. So much so that, you should bring that wholesome to our fellow community that is Black in a Flash. It's a community that uplifts and connects Black speedrunners of all levels, hosting special events throughout the year to raise money for charity and celebrate Black voices in the speedrunning scene. If you want to learn more or apply to get involved, head to gdq.gg/BAF and follow at blackinaflash.bsky.social on Blue Sky. If you want the latest updates, they do some amazing marathons and other speedrun events. They are super wholesome and cool, just like you, friend in chat. And like all of chat, because y'all are the best chat, period. Straight up.
All right, so Zach's entering sort of the third hub of the game here. This volcanic crater where we're supposed to meet the Red Sage, but he's been kidnapped. We're not going to see the cutscene that explains why or what that means, but yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, that little flash, that's the cutscene. That's all we get.
Oh,
It's quite a long cutscene. On PS2, we can't skip it. Well, we can skip it, but we can mess up the skip.
Rails. Okay.
I was just saying on PS2 that that cutscene's really long, and if you mess up skipping it with a somewhat finicky trick, it's quite the time loss. Sometimes a run killer.
Incredibly painful. Yeah.
Yeah. But OpenGOAL, we just skip it. No pain.
yeah. And actually, I'm seeing a few more people in chat asking about OpenGOAL and what it is. It's been a while since you've given the synopsis of it. So, yeah. Or if you want to do the Cliff's notes of it while we are looking at some cliffs.
Sure. No, Zed, it's not an emulator. You know better than this. It's a fan-made decompilation and then PC port of the original PS2 games. So Andy Gavin, in all his wisdom, wrote his own compiler and language and then forced all his developers to learn how to use it. And they left behind some funny debug information for us that made it easier to decompile the game and get some pretty readable code. And so some people smarter than myself decompiled it and put it back together, added a bunch of quality of life improvements so that it looks good on PC, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
Oh, deep breaths.
You did the thing.
Well, no, I haven't. Not yet.
You're about to do the thing.
Yay!
Nice.
Now you did the thing.
That is the most painful place to set up or to mess up for me.
GG. Oh, the maker of Zach the
was practicing
Chicken.
that boosted earlier.
Or Jack the Chicken. Oh.
Yes, that is the one who made the Mort the Chicken Jack and Daxter game. So he knows better than anyone. It's not an emulator. He's just, we love Zed. All right, we're almost out of Spider Cave here. I guess two more cells. One's on the way back to Volcanic Crater.
Thanks.
So we call this quad jump because you do the double jump, you shoot, and you get a spin. And that's enough to get up to this platform so you can get the cell. And then we're going to keep this yellow eco and blow up a crate back in Volcanic Crater. It's like the secret cell. And yeah, grab this one.
Nice.
And now we ride the gondola up to Snowy Mountain.
And the best music in the game, in my opinion.
This level is just a vibe altogether.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's like challenging in the speed run, but it's pretty fun too, I think, when it goes well. So we have to jump on these blockers with the like force field around them all throughout the level, and they're kind of weird. Sometimes it takes a minute for them to register that you jumped on them, so it's pretty easy to like jump off and it doesn't count and they don't get pushed down. And then the force fields are just annoying around them sometimes.
And for those that don't know, what do those like blockers do if you don't push them?
So when you push them all down, you just get a power cell at the end. That's all.
Ah, fair.
Yeah.
So all they do is keep a power cell from us.
Yeah.
Well, that's rude.
So if you I know some people will play like without audio, and there's like an audio cue when you push them. So sometimes people don't realize that they don't register, the push doesn't register, and they'll go through the whole level and
oh no,
wonder why they don't get the cell at the end because they missed one.
And then it's the fun part of going, oh God, which one did I miss?
Yep. Zach just did a little skip here where you jump into this like end section. You're supposed to take flood on these floating platforms to get here, but you can kind of just fall down and jump in there and skip the whole thing. And then there's another little skip here to avoid some platforming around the room.
All right, let's see if we get yellow eco rocket. Probably not. No way.
Got a little rocket out of it.
Kind of close.
Yeah, I think that's a 2-frame trick, they say. You can get like a crazy uppercut that actually shoots you through the ceiling out of that cutscene. Instead, you get to see Zach climb up the wall there, which is just for some reason they marked that part of the wall as ground, and so you can stand on ground and you can climb up the wall.
I must say that looks like perfectly cromulent gameplay right there, as you just kind of jump up a wall like that.
So we got Flood again. What you just saw was Zach like go around an invisible wall. Normally you're not supposed to be able to get Flood like all throughout the level here, just through the one section. But we have a way to get around that wall, and then Flood is really quick to just clean up the rest of the level, basically.
Now, what is walking through those fire circles doing?
So that's picking up eco, red eco in this case.
Okay.
Jack, our main character, has some special ability to channel these eco more than other people, I suppose. The red eco makes you just a little bit, your attacks are like twice as strong, which doesn't really matter to most enemies because most enemies are only one hit. But it also lets you break through certain enemy defenses that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. So those guys that were standing on the like drill things, you don't have to have red eco to kill them technically. There is another way, but that's the easiest way to kill them.
I didn't know there was another way.
Yeah, they have like a weird window where when they first notice you, they get surprised and you can break their shield during that window for some reason. It's a strat in the low eco category.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Very important to hit that wall a few times.
Always.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, these blockers on the ice are the ones that end up being really painful with the force fields and the jump and the buttons not registering.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh.
We're fine. We're fine. Nice.
Oh, ice physics in games.
I really like how the movement guide says that you'll learn to like it. No.
Sincerely, everyone that has ever played a game with ice physics ever.
Oh, come on.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, the low eco category is really interesting, actually. I saw someone in chat was asking about it. There's a lot of skips that are, as you can imagine, unique to that, because otherwise, why would you not use the eco that's given to you? All kinds of weird out of bounds and, yeah, just various things you would otherwise never see. Darn.
Well, nothing else was going to happen there. That's what happens every time. Yeah, it's very important.
We were trying to avoid taking the gondola back down since the cutscene can take a while, but that's okay. It's not really worth to go back and get flood at this point.
That one enemy was like, please take me with you.
No.
I can survive in a volcano. He looks like he's contemplating so many life choices right now. Love this.
It's just me every time there's any pause. Think about what you've done.
Just every speedrunner when there's a pause, it's just like, oh boy. Okay. Are we done yet? Nice.
Yeah, so here's another spot where we're spending lots of precursor orbs to get power cells, which would be really slow on PS2 because the cutscenes take a while.
Oh, I gotcha.
We just skip right through them.
Nice.
Yeah, on PS2 we actually choose to go to the place that overcharges us for power cells because their cutscenes are shorter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple more scout flies, and this will be the 70-second cell. And then we're free to go into lava tube.
Huzzah. I was always amused there was no like extreme fanfare we enter an area in check when it's like, okay, yeah, area, go. Have fun.
I think this is the part where I joke about doing city hops.
You're not gonna try it?
I can barely get both of those half of the time. I don't think I could get both of them or 3 times.
So at this lava tube level is kind of like a long, because it's on vehicle, it's a pretty long level. And at the end of it, there's a power cell that you collect when you park the zoomer. And yeah, normally it's like a cutscene that you have to sit through and all this stuff. There's a trick called Citadel hops or city hops, where those 2 blue eco that Zach got earlier, you can actually like flip a 180, grab them again, flip another 180, grab them again. So you have 6 blue eco and you're going super, super fast. You have to keep blue eco throughout this whole level, so you can't let go of X, you can't bonk into anything. You got to make sure you don't fall into the lava anywhere, obviously. And then at the very end, you do a pretty particular jump to skip over, you guessed it, an invisible wall, and bypass that extra power cell cutscene and skip into the final end game a little bit quicker. Whoa.
It's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine.
Oh, yeah, you can also overheat. Another thing to worry about.
Ah.
Nice. All right, so here's where we're going to do a Citadel skip. There's a couple ways to do it on OpenGOAL. Zach's going to do a pause buffer here, which is basically pushing start and start and bringing up the HUD like that at the same time. It delays the pause from actually happening, and you can kind of skip the cutscene and die before it actually plays. For some reason, the devs forgot it and left a checkpoint to the top of the level, and you just skip the whole level.
All right, then. With some more ceremonial head bonking. Love it.
It's a compulsion. I can't help it.
All right, so this is the final boss. Do a little death warp to get over to their arena quicker. So it has a few phases, and in between each phase... that's okay. That doesn't lose that much, I don't think. In between each phase, it shoots these bombs out, and you have to take the launcher up and dodge the bomb exploding. There's a frame-perfect trick you can do to do a quicker jump. We call them one frames, but they're pretty tough, so not yet. If you can hit them all, like if you could hit all three, that'd be amazing. But it's pretty tough. And I think sometimes you lose time by going for it instead of just jumping normally earlier.
Gotcha.
If you were to miss it, I forget which ones it's worth going for and which ones it's not.
Honestly, none of them for me.
Yeah, if you go too early, you'll actually fall back down and the bomb won't have exploded yet. And then you have to rush back over to the launch pad and take another jump, which is obviously a lot more time lost than you want. And also scary because the bomb's about to explode on you.
Well,
Yeah,
I want to say that we're
Andromeda,
home free, but if I had a nickel for every time I've failed after this point. Yeah, Andromeda Citadel skip is patched on the Greatest Hits release. I think it might only be NTSC Greatest Hits version of Jack 1. They did patch the Citadel skip.
Okay.
So I think on some PS3, 4, and 5 copies it's patched too. I forget. I don't remember exactly.
Well, that song's stuck in my head
And
now.
time is coming up as soon as I hit the light eco. Which one is it? I'm pretty
Light.
sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
GG.
Jeez.
Really happy with how that went.
55, yeah. That's really good.
Very nicely underestimate too.
Yeah, full disclosure, Oscar, I had not been playing this game until a week before you reached out.
Full disclosure, I've been peeking in your chat on occasion. I be sneaky like that. Sneaky showrunner. Because GG's chat's popping off for love for both of you. So please, for both of you, take a time in chat, or not just chat, but here, and let everybody know where they can find you, what you're currently playing, and also introduce us to your puppo friend, because I feel like we have a similar taste in puppos.
Yeah, so I'm Mr. Zat Guy. On Twitch, I'm Mr. Zat Guy. I'm not really streaming a lot lately, but I'm trying to get back to this.
I stream every now and then. I'm Barg034, I think, on Twitch. Probably YouTube's a better place to look for content from me. You can also check out the OpenGOAL mod website. It's just jackmods.dev. Can I paste it in chat, or will I get automated?
Not sure. That might be something that producer can handle.
Okay.
Just yeah.
Yeah, just jackmods.dev if you want to see the mods, or opengoal.dev if you want the vanilla version of the game. I definitely recommend checking it out. I think it's pretty easily the best way to play Jak and Daxter and Jak 2 and soon Jak 3 in 2025. So yeah, it's eaten up a lot of my time, but I'm more than grateful for OpenGOAL and just, the developers have put so much time into it. It's a pretty cool thing. So,
Well, yeah, and shout out to Barg for verifying my first run on the board, which was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
All right.
Casual.
Heck yeah.
And this is Cyrilla, or Siri.
Oh, hi, Siri.
She's a little menace. I don't know what she destroyed in my room, but there's something, I'm sure.
Yeah, we love corgis in this in this show. And Galahad and Freya say hi. Yeah. And I got two floating around somewhere. They're like, aw, they wanted to see the puppo too. Again, GG's to everybody. That was such a cool run to see. Y'all did awesome. Chat, you are wholesome. Don't think otherwise. And you two are very wholesome too. So keep those GGs coming. We're going to take a quick hydration break and pet your fur baby or skin. Hello and welcome back for our final run, and then in parentheses S and parentheses of Express Lane for this episode. Not like the whole thing, but for this episode. Just want to give a quick shout out to everyone. I've seen some wonderful love in chat with your subs, with gift bits, Prime Gaming subs. Those contributions, like I've said before, they help keep our shows running on GDQ Hotfix. So again, if you're joining the stream, just consider subscribing. Again, you get those exclusive emotes you saw earlier and you've been seeing all the time. You get ad-free viewing and you get access to the chat during those replays, which will start after this run. And you can always just support the stream by heading to the Games Done Quick channel, sharing it with your friends. Now, this is where I fit in that like car smacking like meme of you can fit all the things in this car. Yeah, we're not giving you one. We're not giving you 2 or 3. We are going to do the 4-pack of the Ratchet Clank original Quadrilogy in under an hour, which is mind-blowing. But the Sag Bean can absolutely do it on New Game Plus. So, Sag, hello. 4 games under an hour, huh?
Yeah, so I thought, like, there's a lot of good show themes here, and I see Express Lane, and it's like, well, most of my speed games and categories are like under an hour, so just submitting something wouldn't be that exciting. But I thought, you know what? There's nothing that says I have to submit 1 game. I could do 4. And you're probably thinking, no way, this takes me like 8 hours to beat casually. Well, you're going to see very quickly that we can beat this in under 1 hour. The world record for this is by yours truly, 51 minutes and 51 seconds. That is within game time. We count out the breaks, but I promise you, regardless of whether you see that as a legitimate timing method, it's still going to be an hour RTA. So
love it.
The other thing I have to just quickly say, if you go to the grocery store and you see apple pie Oreos, they're really good. That's completely random, but I just had some today.
Mid.
And
I'm here for it.
me, on commentary, I have...
Oh, yeah, I'm tech. I know a thing or two about these games.
Yes. So we both run the original Quadrilogy. I think he's also run like Quest for Booty. I've run like a bunch of other games.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's a dark era.
All right, 4 games in under 1 hour. I don't get nervous during marathon runs. I'm nervous right now. My hands are actually shaking.
Oh, you got this. You have the power of apple pie Oreos, so.
I'll be a pessimist.
Well,
This guy's my friend, by the way.
chat's already proven they're wholesome, so they're on they've got your back. So yeah.
All right, so chat. All right, actually, this is more so for the host now. Whoever's on timer duty, get your timer ready. So I'm gonna count from 3, 2, 1, and then when I say go, we go. So, oh wait, actually, hold on. I realized the timing for rack 1 is a little different. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good
All right,
luck.
you explain Velden.
Yeah, so a majority of what you're going to see for the first 2.5 planets is going to be Sag using the second worst weapon in the game, the Walloper. The only time it's useful at all in the series is whenever we don't have Clank, which you'll also notice it's called the Ratchet and Clank when we're just a Ratchet at this point. We're also going to be using and utilizing the PDA because it has some like weird properties where you can, like, if you are in first person, the game thinks you're on the ground. So what you can do on the ground is, of course, jump. But yeah, just by using L1 and the PDA in the air, it still thinks you're on the ground because it's a well-made game.
Yeah, and the theme for all 4 of these games is speed and momentum preservation. You are going to see really, really crazy unintended movement tech on all 4 of these games. Ratchet 1 is the most different, in my opinion, because of the way we do it. But it's still a very fast-paced game. Right there, I made sure to intentionally only kill 2 enemies because the trigger to unlock the next level is killing all 3 of them. So I leave one open so I can kill it on the way back, and it's pretty swag. So that's the first 2 levels done. Those 2 levels are really reset heavy, and Velden in particular went really well. I did have a marathon safe weapon setup. so I didn't get as fast of a Velden as I would have if this was a run, but you know, it's okay. So now here's Kerwan. This is one of the longer levels in the game and also one of the more intricate, so you can go ahead and explain what I'll do here.
Yeah, so we're actually going to get Clank this game. So as Saj said, you can't spell Novalis and Velden without L's because they are like the two worst planets in the game. So it's like very monotonous, but once you get Clank, the movement becomes a lot like much more safe in terms. I mean, you'll see in like 10 seconds that Clank just kind of completely changes the way that like movement and preservation, you know. So let's see the. Let's show it off. Are you good? Let's see if you do the punch into the.
I do, because.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, swag.
All right.
So and we didn't really go into it like that much, but yeah. So you're using the Walloper, and you're pausing it and going into a cutscene. The game allows like a cheat menu that you can pull up any cutscene that you want. So doing it mid Walloper punch just preserves your momentum. In the other games, like just for the future, we are going to be like using the charge boots and not so much Clank at all. But as of right now, Clank is literally our only method. So it's just a matter of like making sure we do the proper movement. And right here, Saj is going to be getting hit at the same time the cutscene starts, which usually Ratchet would stand still. But again, really good game. So what happened was they got hit, and it for some reason it just like allows you to move around this cutscene. That's why the camera angle looks very weird despite us moving around. But the camera's trying to follow us.
Like to use everything, and Ratchet 2, 3, and 4 have like, oh great, there's already a tech issue. I think, or was there? I don't know. I saw on the stream that like things were frozen. On my end, there's no dropped frames, but hopefully we'll.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Anyways,
don't psych the audience out, Saj. Jeez.
Why did I choose you as my commentator? All right, I'll explain Eudora as well as like what a lot of levels are gonna have in this. So throughout all 4 games, you are gonna see a theme where the end of the level, I'll be at the end of the planet. And something to note about all of these Ratchet and Clank games is that they put the exits at the end, so I can just clip through a wall or hit a trigger from somewhere they didn't intend, or something else. And yeah, you're going to see that in all 4 of the games at some point or another. I promise you that.
With this game in particular, so like, like as I mentioned, like as aforementioned, this is the game where like Clank is the most useful. We're pretty like at this point we have almost everything in our arsenal that we're like in our movement arsenal rather that is going to be like utilized for the entire run. Now, and like coming up, there's going to be like a specific niche case where like we just took that like little ship, but by using a cutscene as we enter the, I'm trying to remember the exact inputs, but you can just like enter. You'll see right here. We just teleport straight back. Even usually we would like see a long like 10-second long cutscene. But like there only in niche cases like that are we going to see something different. A lot of it is literally just going to be like chaining what is called mid-airs, where you like psych the game out. We like do a side flip into a long jump. Right here, we're gonna actually abuse like the texture of the water. Oh, unless we mess it up, man. No, I'm kidding. I'm trolling. Oh.
Okay,
you got this.
Hold on. This is a little bit this is a little finicky. I have to wait for this raft to be pointing downwards. So
yeah.
Okay, it's pointing upwards. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle that I have my TV at. If I can just get this started, that would be really nice.
Yeah.
There we go. Marathon luck, but that's okay. The other levels have been going so well. I really don't mind how that happened. Oh yeah, Cineflips.
Yeah, so like similar to how the PDA, you can like it thinks you're on the ground. The texture of that like water, and we're gonna see in the next planet, like the entire next planet is gonna be just that. But yeah, it's just you're spamming R1 and R2, and you're moving left and right on the D-pad as fast as possible. I don't know the exact tempo. I think it's like you want like 10 times per second, but I think that's copium personally, but I don't think it's that fast. But yeah, we're gonna see it like literally all of this next planet. And scary alert, we are gonna get something called Ghost Ratchet.
Yeah.
The like simplified version, the game thinks we're dead, but we're hitting like a death, what would be considered a death trigger, and then we're getting out of it to prevent the death animation from playing. So what like something unique about that is we actually get usually when Ratchet's quote unquote alive, we have a speed cap, but because Ratchet is quote unquote dead now, we don't have that speed cap, so we just go straight to the end of the planet with that momentum that we got. And the right there where you just saw was Sag pulled out the PDA as they hit the lava, and it instantly like you would usually bounce like 4 times or three or 4 times, and you would like sink. But because the PDA is again really well made, we just instantly die.
All right.
And Battalion is like pure movement.
Yeah, Battalion is one of the best levels that you're gonna see in this entire run. It's just the demonstration of Ratchet 1 movement. I love Battalion. At least the first half. The second half, it's a little rough.
It's an L. Battalion has an L in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like I always say that Battalion is like the separation between an average or beginner player to like a very to a good player. A lot of people who go for the second strat, God love you, I can't do that. So unfortunately, Sag did mess up. What you would have seen was like a long jump to get straight to the part that they are now IJing. IJing stands for infinite jumping. So, but it's all good. It's not that hard of a backup strat to do this, though. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're getting close to the end of the planet, but yeah, at like a high level, this planet is just eye candy.
Yeah, I should have gone for a backup chain that I usually go for because I'm not very good at this second half, but I thought I could make it. But that's okay. Like I said, marathon luck. I'm not like upset so far. So next up, Clank's gonna get his time to shine, and because we know Clank's helipack is so broken, surely you're gonna see some exciting stuff on Orcs on 1. No, you're not. So a little disclaimer for anyone that's aware, Pokitaru skip is a real thing. If you don't know what that is, we revisit this level Orxon as Ratchet to unlock a different planet. So technically, Orxon unlocks 2 different planets. It's just split into 2 visits. You can unlock the later planet as Clank, and that was kind of a thing that we've been wanting for years. I've actually managed to do runs of this category with this skip in it. It is really, really painful. I do not like it, and it is absolutely not marathon safe for me, at least. It's been done at other marathons by much faster runners than me, but yeah, if anyone if anyone hates Pokitaru in particular, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, Pokitaru was for long. So like with this category, it's relatively like not relatively. It's probably the most optimized Ratchet Clank game and has been for like almost a decade. But Pokitaru skip in particular was pretty much like the like big scare, like the elephant in the room that nobody really wanted to tackle. And eventually, a runner named Patali figured out about how to like. With the camera, which we haven't really explained it in this game because it's not really used in this game as much, but we learned that the camera can actually like make Clank do the entirety of Orxon like completely alone.
Now, if you guys
revisit,
sorry. Now, if you guys are yearning to see some holy grails of Ratchet speedruns, there will be one that you'll see later on in a different Ratchet game, but no spoilers yet. So here's the guy. Okay, I let him say his line. You're probably questioning why the PS3 is set to Spanish. 2 reasons. Because I want to. I do natively speak Spanish, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got bored of playing games in English, so I swapped the console language. but there is one extra benefit later on. But again, still spoilers, so we'll get to it when we get to the respective game. So Pokitaru is really boring, and it has one skip in it, and it's kind of difficult to get, and I hate having to observe runs to see how they do it, because it's like, I don't want to watch Poke, I want to observe your movement. I want to get good at the part that I care about for this game, so...
Yeah, it's like eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and then having the crust left over, and then this is what you get. Like, it's it's pretty awful. Even at especially in any percent, which any percent and NG Plus are like very similar to each other, but I would say that Pokitaru is like the one case where it's not, because you actually have to kill all these enemies, and on any percent. Right now we have 8 health because of NG Plus, but we would be at 4 health at this point, and like the checkpoints are pretty far in between, and the bomb glove, I think it takes like 2 bombs to kill each fish, so you have to like group them up, and ammo in this game is very not scarce, but like, you know, it's just not easy to like, it's not easy to have like a full ammo clip in this game, especially with how like important money is in any percent. But we're not talking about any percent, we're talking about NG Plus. But yeah, it's by far, like, for a long time, the most hated planet. So much so that we would actually rather be playing Clank for like 5 straight minutes than having to do this.
Okay, so an awesome thing happened where I just fell off the boat. That just happens sometimes, and getting back on is borderline impossible. So I'm just gonna take the L and just get rid of the fish right here. Not a big deal. It's just I wish that didn't. Oh, what? I wish that didn't happen. This game's weapon select is really weird, because these games you can... Oh my goodness. Are you... Okay,
you got trolled.
Yeah, that's another thing. I can't get out of like the water without actually swimming to land, so that's a big L right there. Can you imagine why speedrunners may have wanted to skip this planet for years? You might.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's also
I don't.
There's also a thing here where I have to get on the button and I have to like shoot a visit bomb, and it helps me move during that. And I just, for the life of me, cannot figure out what makes it work. So if I had like been successful in killing like all the fishes before a certain point, I would have instantly completed this part of the level a lot sooner, but I didn't. So there is still a tiny time save I got here.
Yeah, there is the guy. We just call him the guy, by the way, because he doesn't have an official name, and he's legendary. But what would happen is he would just teleport straight to the end, because again, really well made game. So like, you would just go straight into that shop that Saj just went into. But yeah, I also think with that Visibomb, I think it's just a matter of just having like a bunch of speed and then like being neutral into it. But yeah, that skip with the Visibomb is like very it trolls.
Firing it, not jumping. Okay, I was gonna say, because I've tried that before and I just end up like, yeah. Can you tell this is the, out of the 4 categories you're gonna watch, this is the one that I've like played the least. So. Funny,
it's also the longest ones.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. But we'll get into that later, just because.
Yeah. Yeah. This is unfortunately like a little bit of a spoiler, but like it is still relevant to this game. This is the only game without like a massive skip.
Yeah.
So
Poke skip only saves like a minute, so I wouldn't consider that massive compared to what you're gonna see soon.
Yeah, in the other games, it's kind of gnarly, but here we are back on Orkson. This time is Ratchet, and I right before we started this run, Saj gave hate to this planet, but I honestly think that this planet is like my personal favorite. But
for casual play, I like this planet a lot. For speedrunning, it can be I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This planet's actually not that bad. I was just a lot of planets in this run are really brutal. A lot of planets in this run, yeah, they can be painful at times.
Yeah,
but this
having
one
to restart it. Yeah.
Oh, I keep interrupting you because I'm so focused on actually playing the game.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say that like With this game, it's so punishing to mess up any chain because in the other games you get instant momentum. Again, kind of spoiling, but this game you kind of have to you kind of have to work for your speed. And anytime that like it gets cut off by just like the most random object of all time, like you have to work for it again or just have to reset. So
Okay, I did not get Nuke Good, thank goodness. Getting Nuke Good.
yeah, sometimes that clip.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
clip.
go ahead.
I was gonna say that clip. A runner named Nuka, who hasn't ran in like a decade now, they clipped through the floor when they did that, and we call it the Nuka if that happens to you. So, onto Hoven, which is so hated that there's an entire video talking about how bad it is, and that's kind of funny to say with like no context.
My end, the game is like refreshing.
Okay, in that case, I'll explain
no.
Hoven.
Yeah, go ahead.
What I was gonna do is I was gonna do some ILJs, which are that thing you saw in Umbris, into a trigger. This planet is basically one long turret fight. But to get in the turret, it's up really high up. The game doesn't actually care if you're high up. It just matters if you like collide with I forget what the axes are. I forget what the vertical axis is.
It's Y.
Okay, yeah.
Or I guess for.
Okay, yeah. Can you tell that math wasn't my best subject in high school? So this is the ship.
Can't relate.
This is the reason everyone hates Hoven, because getting into that trigger is a little finicky sometimes, but just like get in the trigger, like just deal with it. This, however, you just get like 30 helicopters. Like dude, if these helicopters represented like how many friends I had IRL that I consistently hang out with, I would feel like I would lead a much more social life.
My layout, the layout for my stream before, it used to be when I like speedran any percent for this game.
Please.
It used to be like a picture of all, like my entire stream was full of the ships, like all of those the enemies, and I just said the media, like it was the media and Comic Sans at the bottom.
You have no idea. Well, actually, you probably do have an idea how freaking, I almost swore, how freaking scary that was. If you guys saw the health bar, I was thinking like, dude, is this thing gonna break? Like,
oh no,
on, that final turret. Just sometimes it breaks quickly, sometimes it doesn't.
If Saj's health bar was like a like let's say Saj won $1 million, the amount of health left would have been the donated to charity percentage of the $1 million Saj had. It was like 5% at most.
Oh jeez.
but yeah, Hoven, Gemlik is also a really cool planet. Just a lot of like you saw in the beginning, like the Walloper into the PDA is just always so sick.
Yeah, unfortunately I messed it up because those guys on the turrets, they shot me, so it kind of threw me off a lot. And then the backup chain didn't go that well either because I was going at it from a slightly different angle. There's a fight against Quark. It's a ship fight. And we can just skip it by like going over to the area you saw. And it's going to play a sound effect that only plays if you die in the fight. And then we actually take a death, and that somehow skips it. I don't know why that works. I really don't. I don't know how half the stuff in this game works.
That's just one of those things you're like, all right, cool, I accept.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm glad that Quark actually has a W in his name because he's a W guy. So he actually just surrenders as soon as you fight. I mean, I appreciate the honesty.
For anyone who really liked the first 2.5 planets of the run, keep your eyes open because that's what Ultanis basically is. Clank is unable to roam around the planet due to the lightning.
Yeah, this planet is nostalgia bait for the first 2 planets.
I also should point out that Clank is not safe because he's made out of metal. Meanwhile, Ratchet's signature weapon is a giant wrench. I love video games.
Yeah, but the wrench is goated.
Actually, there was a question a while ago in chat, and my my internet decided to be kind of internet-y and spike, and I wasn't able to ask them. So, with this specific version of the run, I believe the PS3 version, are there specific glitches that are unique to it, or is it just kind of the same glitches throughout all the different versions of the runs.
Yes. So Ratchet 3 and 4. Oh, great. I took a death right here. The collision on this is really funky. Ratchet 3 and 4 can't happen without the PS3 version. Those games as categories use glitches that, like, their big skips are only possible on PS3. Ratchet 2, I'm going to be playing on PS3, which is wildly different to PS2 due to the movement. It's the only one that has major differences in that sense. Like, just the basic movement is different. But the loads and a few other things make it slightly faster. And, I mean, there's no rule that says you have to play on PS3 for Quadfecta, but for this category, I play on that. For the longer NG+, I actually play PS2, but, you know. And then Ratchet 1, it's a little nicer to play on. The menus are a lot more instant. And the final boss, no matter what category you're playing, is pretty much only possible, whatever method we do, because of PS3 glitches.
Oh, wow.
We'll get to the final boss in a moment. This is Drex Fleet. You want to explain that one?
Yeah, this planet is like quite literally just, again, similar to Battaglia, just pure chaining movement. Hopefully what happens, what we want to see is Sag getting a lot of speed with mid-airs in the PDA and using it at the right time so that they just go like zooming straight into the end of the level.
I got a side flip, so that completely messed me up. It loses quite a bit of time, but that's fine. Like I said, marathon luck, you know. With enough luck, this will be like oh my goodness. Okay, I did not intend to get a side flip there. Yeah. Usually I actually can mid-air quite consistently now. But today it's been a little iffy. I should mention...
Oh, you're doing this way, huh?
Yeah, I have to. So I should mention that in Ratchet 1, there's a technique called mid-airs with the helipack, which is those weird like stutters that you keep seeing me do. In Ratchet 2, this tech does exist, but it's a lot harder to do. But there's also another technique that we also collectively refer to as with mid-airs. It's a frame-perfect trick with the charge boots. You won't be seeing me do it because, you know. And that type of mid-air also exists in Ratchet 3 and 4. So movement tech in this game is absolutely not confusing at all.
Real quick, back to like the question that was asked before. I do want to say shout out to Any%, because with the PS3 version of this game, we do get like loads are like I think it's like 5 minutes faster between like all categories because the loads are so slow.
Probably.
And the PDA like it's slower to pull out. But in Any%, the Pyrocitor on the PAL version, we are playing on the PAL version as well. We forgot to mention that, but yeah, we're gonna be playing the PAL version of at least the first 3 games. Deadlocked is kind of, it doesn't really matter.
For this category, if you're not doing pokey skip, it also doesn't matter. And actually, for up your arsenal, only for Ratchet 2 does it actually have a notable difference for the category you're gonna watch.
I thought that with Drex Skip it's PAL only.
Nope, just the Pyrocitor stuff. Drex Skip, you're probably thinking of the fact that it doesn't work on NTSC disc, but LMAO disc version.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's probably it then. But yeah, but the Pyrocitor does shoot like 60 times faster, or like does 60 times more damage because it hits on every single frame on the PAL version. But yeah, but with the PAL version of this game, as Saj already mentioned before the differences. So
I'll explain Drex Skip right now because we're at the end.
The way to set up Drex Skip is literally you just have to beat Drek, and then like when you beat Drek, there's you have to hit a button, but you don't even need to hit the button because you can just restart a file, and then when you get to this fight again, you don't even have to fight Drek.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this was discovered completely on accident. So for pokey skip runs, you do have to fight Drek, but I'm not going to get into why because I'm not going to bore you guys. Ratchet 1 is about to finish right about now. Okay, so
GG Part 1.
GG Part 1. You're probably thinking, all right, you guys, that game was like 26 minutes. That is almost half the runtime. How are you gonna how are you supposed to beat this in under an hour? What are you doing? Or like was there an error? Did you submit this to the wrong thing? And believe me, we got that all covered. Speaking of which, okay, let me get this up. So we have a practice tool called a Rackman, and because we don't time out the oh, what the frick? It's refusing to connect. Hold on, I think I know why. Okay, that's not good. I think I know the problem, but just it's really annoying when it refuses to connect. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to set up some manips that are similar to Drex Skip, but game's not game. The practice tool's not letting me have it for some reason. I don't know why it won't work.
Is hen enabled?
No. I'm trying like every different like IP. Okay, there we go. Phew. I was gonna say like, come on. Okay, so do this. I'm gonna check that my file's good. Okay, and now Ratchet 2 is gonna start in a moment. Let me save over a file because I realize I have like a bunch of you know. So like I said, I know you might think that's not legitimate to use a practice tool, but since like I don't want to spend all that time setting up manips and stuff, and since this is still emulating a run in which you know, I'm just gonna do it anyways. So
with this game in particular, and Ratchet 3 as well, they're like the way that so these two games are going to be a lot different than Ratchet 1. We're going to be utilizing a glitch right now, just called the Insomniac Museum glitch. All it does, we go straight into like the 70% marker of the game. There's a lot of things about Ratchet & Clank 2 and 3 where the files actually like transfer data in between, like memories and all that get transferred in between each other.
You mean deadlocked? Because it's not memory. It's just the fact that they kind of had an oversight where, you know, with this, I can explain it if you want.
Yeah,
but also
so like,
Golden.
And the only reason why PAL's faster is because you would usually see a cutscene of Ratchet jumping out of the ship with Clank. It doesn't play on this version because rushed game, and so with but with this game and Ratchet 3, we're going to be like, in Ratchet 4, we're going to be like going straight towards the end because of like ways that we can manipulate files. Now we have the charge boots, so we actually don't need Clank for this category.
Yeah, we skip him entirely. Poor Clank. You will get to see him in a moment right here.
Yeah, he gets his little moment, and it is pretty bad though. He does have an L in his name, so unfortunately, this is the worst part of the run.
Dude, every time you bring that up, man, it's good.
So, put an F or L in chat for Clank.
Yeah, unfortunately, Clank doesn't really. So we are able to use the camera. We are able to utilize. So the camera is a physical object in this game and the third game. So going to first person and then quickly releasing and then going back into first person again, because great game. It does make you go through all of the walls or like shoot you straight up in the air as you're about to see. So yeah, back to like the with this game, it's actually possible to do on PS2 as well, which is why like on PS2 you would see people like wrench swinging in the middle of the air and then being able to jump out. The reason why NG Plus is slightly faster on PS3 still is because we're going to be like there are going to be niche cases where we can't do something like without a file manip on PS3, but on PS2 the movement midair is so fast anyways, so it's kind of neck and neck. People do prefer the PS2 version, which I understand, but I still like PS3.
Yeah, so right here, you can just climb up walls. This is something Insomniac was aware about, and they were like, you know what, we'll leave it in the game, but it'll be an NG Plus exclusive. They do patch it out for the latter two games, though, but it is pretty cool that they do this stuff. They really like speedrunners, so even in 2003, when they were making this game, they were being really based. So the Insomniac Museum glitch, we didn't explain it that much. So there's the Insomniac Museum's like a secret level. It shows you a bunch of cut content. It's like one of the coolest things ever. Like, dude, they were really cooking with that.
Yeah.
there's two ways to access it. One is a shortcut, which you saw me do at the very beginning of the run, and the other is to find secret teleporters on Bolden, or as this dub of the game calls it, Planet Off Walk. That's its name in like a beta version of the game, and I guess they just forgot to change it specifically for the Spanish dub. When you go to the Insomniac Museum, on the very first release of the game, the American Black Label version, so not greatest hits, if you leave, it'll instantly take you to Bolden regardless of where you are, even if you absolutely should not be there if you haven't unlocked it. And they try and patch it in the other releases of the game, such as PS3, but taking a death in the museum just unpatches it, basically. That was Gorn, it's a ship level. It's actually quite fun, in my opinion. This is Snivelac. This is one of the best levels in the game, in my opinion. We start off with the slingshot.
It does have an element, but it is good.
Yeah, Snivelac sucks casually. It's by far the worst level in the game casually. But for speedrunning, it's actually really good.
Yeah, it's kind of the eye candy of this category, and by the way, like in this matter of time, we've already seen 3 file minutes. We've seen Insomniac Museum glitch. We've seen Gorn. There's like a cutscene that plays in Gorn that we skipped, and now we use the swing shot. It's not really a file minute.
Background noise, by the way. Sorry about that.
Yeah. With the swing shot, you're not supposed to get it till you get Clank in the planet Indako, but we don't go to Indako at all, like in the categories. So what you do is just beat the final boss and then have the swing shot as your secondary weapon. And what Saj did was whenever they would go from one weapon to another, they would quickly go to the swing shot and then pull out a weapon. Otherwise, it would override it. But that was another moment of file manipulating where the boss's health bar got shredded. That boss is like 10 minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes casually. But because we shot him in the foot and was inside of his hitbox, but on top of that, we died like what you would usually do before Rackman. And why we have Rackman installed is because you would have to die like 14 times. You die 14 times to that boss and then 20 times to the final boss. And you would have to do that every single time they wanted to do it.
Oh, jeez.
And we don't do
also,
that
Snivelac is a really cool planet. We manip those jump pads to send us in specific directions, and I guess my mom finds that really funny because I can just hear her in the background laughing really hard, which...
Love it.
That Snivelac boss, we do have a method to defeat it quickly on PS2 as well. It's just the optimal method is much more difficult, so a W for the PS3 version. And Snivelac, I just played part of the level backwards because it's faster. We only have to do one of the 2 paths on here. The other one unlocks like a planet that doesn't unlock another planet, so we skip it. Here's a reload so I can get back to my ship quickly. And then I'm gonna go to Grelbin, which is a very short planet. It's another planet that implements the end of the levels at the beginning, kind of. It's more so the end of the level is just out in the big open field, since that's what Grelbin is. If you play this game casually, you probably hate this planet, and it was made in 3 days, so...
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't... Who could have foreseen that coming?
You know what
There's
I just realized?
What?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You go first.
I was going to say that almost every planet in this game has an L in it. It's almost like this category is, like, weird.
No, I actually do enjoy this category. I've come to enjoy it a lot more because of the fact that a skip that's used in every other category is not needed in this one on the planet Barlow. That's like the reason it's gone a little higher up in the rankings for me.
Barlow and Felton both have L's in them, and they suck. Those 2 planets suck. So, kind of a W that from the NG Plus version of this game with IMG. Yeagle is going to be pure movement into the final boss as well. We're going to see like a clip in like another version of FPM climbing with the first person mode and wrench spam. But yeah.
All right, here's going to be a camera clip. I did attempt one of these on a Snivelac, but I failed it. Meanwhile, on this one is super easy. And now I'm going to clip through this wall. I'm going to FPM climb. And I'm going to clip into one of like the not clip, but I'm just going to land in one of the final rooms of this level. This level is really long, but even if it's not for the purpose of letting the player get back to their ship easy. The end of the level still just happens to be at the beginning. Also, Ratchet 2 is about to be completed right now.
Yeah. Again, just another moment of act tuning, which is whenever we die 20 times, so the boss's health gets shredded like that. GG on that. My brain. Oh yeah. So I want to quickly bring it back to like the whole midair thing, the midair debate. Why do we call it cam clip at the cam flip when you do the exact same thing?
Because one of them, look, we just didn't have the time. Also,
GG part 2.
Yeah, GG
yeah.
part
Let me
2.
check for one thing. Okay, cool. I needed to make sure that I have this ready. What you're seeing right now, that'll come in handy later. This game is the only one that everyone plays in a different language. There's going to be a skip on the second level of the game that for some reason only works if the language is set to Spanish or German. Don't ask why. We don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, great question, and we can't
It's one of
answer.
nature's mysteries.
Yep.
So
it's just, yeah. And we actually, with this game as well, like, I'm just going to like rip it straight off from now. We're going to be using a lot of the sucky gun, the suck cannon. And the oh wait, I'm tripping. Do we need a setup at all, or are we just going straight?
we very much
run?
do. I have to do like a lot of setup because I have to set up this game's equivalent to the Insomniac Museum glitch.
Right. Yeah. So this is the actual game where like memory addresses do get messed up between files where or not files, but if you beat this game like 34 times and you have like 5 million bolts, it's super specific, but if you set up like specific things, what you're able to do is buy items that you wouldn't otherwise get until the very end of the game. We can actually buy an item that we can't even like buy, but it gives us like coordinates to one of the last planets in the game. Sorry to like spoil it that fast, but this game is very fast paced.
Yeah, you are gonna see. We're not gonna have time to explain anything. So let me think. I need to do this. Gonna wait for that to go away, and then I should be good. So if you quit out of the game while fulfilling certain criteria, and then you reload, and then you trigger 2 autosaves, that's going to be what we need to do the entire thing. So up your arsenal. The latter 2 games are the ones I mainly run the most, so you might notice a jump in quality.
Yeah, this is my personal favorite. G+, it's sick.
Same.
But here we go. So we're going to instantly be using the suck cannon. So the suck cannon is a weapon.
It looks like that.
Yes. So that's what's called a boxy. What you're doing is you're sucking an item up, mostly boxes, and you're like swapping to a different weapon. It pauses the sucking animation, so you're able to jump on the item that you're sucking. And when you jump up in the air and then pull out the suck cannon again, you just zip straight up into the air. Right now, we're setting up a trick called Corp. This is what we were talking about earlier with the German and Spanish version. Again, we're not exactly sure why.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god, marathon luck. Oh, and I have to do the free fall. Okay, that's terrible. Wow, the game just ate my whip jump. That's okay. Well, I find it ironic that I'm like, okay, this is the game that I mainly run, and this is already going up.
Marathon luck does marathon luck things.
Yeah.
Will Corp still work?
It will. I just have to kill the correct enemies. So
yeah.
Where are you?
So we don't exactly know what causes it, but there is a 100%. We don't know what causes it. We just know how it works, like how to make it work every time. For a long time, we thought it was just RNG, but then we learned that killing certain enemies and being in a certain status of Velden, this planet, allows you to just go straight. You'll see Sag jump out of the ship and go straight into a boss fight. Like it saves about, I don't know, like 40 seconds, because otherwise you'd have to do movement straight into the boss fight. But with this,
are you serious, man? Oh my goodness. Okay, you're seeing all of Florana. Wow, this is not going good. I thought like this was gonna be like the game I'm like most good with, but It's okay. I get to flex my Florana movement.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Florana does have an L in it. But, yeah. But it's all good. Florana is actually like really sick movement-wise because of the way that we preserve momentum into like the falling platforms. But this is the fight that you would have like. What would have hopefully had happened was Sag jumping out of the ship into this boss fight. But we're going to be utilizing for most of this run. It's just going to be boxies, and. So I didn't really we didn't talk too much about it, but yeah. So the camera is actually also like incredibly useful for this game, where like we're going to be using a lot more on this than any other game. We're like preserving momentum with the camera and then clipping through a wall type ordeal. I love this split.
I don't.
It's so cool
because the movement's fine. The movement's fine, but this death abuse right here is.
It's okay. Not all of us appreciate art.
Tech, explode. How about you explode? Don't mess up on Marcadia. I'll try. So this is Marcadia. Yeah. So if you guys wanted to see the actual Holy Grail, so on Marcadia there's like 5 ranger missions. We're in a big old arena. They're really boring. No one likes them. And this category used to be Marcadia Simulator. I'm gonna skip them all with a very intricate setup. Honestly, I kind of want to do the explaining just to see if I can flex doing it at the same time. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to get rid of these enemies so that they're not in my way. The way that Ratchet faces can influence the box launch. I'm going to kill these enemies. Now I'm going to suck up the box. I'm going to keep it in the air. I'm going to quickly purchase the master plan, which is caused by that quitting out thing that I showed you. Now, right now, my checkpoint's in the dropship, so if I die, I will respawn in the dropship. Doesn't necessarily matter where it is. Now, over here, the box is where it was when I spawned on this planet. I'm going to get into this particular shape. I'm going to stand on a specific spot, look up a certain way, and now I'm going to just pause until I get a specific frame that I want. That's too early. Okay, that's just right. Okay, give me one moment. I need quiet time. Yes, okay, I got it.
Nice.
So the box launched me. I had to bounce off that building on a very specific spot, and then I had to spam glide, and it allowed me to hit the refractor, which is now gonna set me to a new checkpoint. It gave me a new autosave. I'm in the dropship, and now I'm on the final third of Marcadia. I've skipped all the ranger missions. Now this is a laser defense facility. It's a boring laser puzzle, and I'm gonna skip it with a boxy. It's gonna look a little something like this. I really hope I get this right. I did. Cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, this boxy is the hardest one in my opinion.
I got it down pretty well. That's because I was trained by the box master himself, Torbolin.
Yeah. Yeah. Torbolin does have. Okay, I'm gonna start with that joke. But he is, Torbolin is like the master. Him and Joao both are like really great. They both like revolutionized this category in terms of like boxes. So like with Poketaru's skip, like that was like long wanted, but only saves a minute. What Sag did saves, I'm not kidding, like 5 minutes. It is like, it has been the holy, not even just a holy grail, but it is like revolutionized. And it was really, really hard when we found out about it, because at that point we didn't realize that like there's something that you can do with like your weapons where you can quickly swap them for exactly 5 frames. It's kind of frame perfect with the box setup, but we found a really easy way, and now it's like insanely easy. And what Sag just did right there was frame perfect as well.
Yeah, but it's frame perfect in a different way.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, get the shot cannon out. So I should mention that if you guys want to know my favorite planet in this category, it's Marcadia. And if that wasn't enough to convince you why, because just a few years ago, it was like the worst planet, but now it's like, you know. So that's
the hardest but most rewarding.
So the thing I bought in the vendor was the master plan, which you don't get until a level called Crash Site. And because I have the master plan as well as another thing called the vid comic, the game thinks that I'm now going to unlock this level, Quark's Hideout. I just got hideouted. That's fine. Son of a Quark.
Yeah, this one's my favorite. It also has the best OST, but I know that Sag is a Koros stan.
I like this game. I like this Planet's OST as well. So this is Ouya's level where the end is at the beginning, or at least one of the many levels.
Yeah, you literally go straight to the end, like, and on top of the, I would say that most levels are like that, and whenever it's not like that, we just boxy. The only case not being like that is Draco, but we don't do Draco in this category.
So at this point, the Starship Phoenix, which is a hub world, is under attack, and we have to stop the attack. We're not going to kill like a single enemy, or at least not intentionally. We're just going to do some cool movement, and it'll hopefully look something like this.
Yeah, let's see if you get the 2-frame.
I got it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's...
I did whiff some other movement, but that's okay. I don't care. I got
that still looks so clean.
Yeah, that right there is a holy mama moment. That is like some of the best movement in the series, in my opinion.
Yeah, the very first time I tried that, I got it like first try. Like I was like, dude, that. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to do something.
Yeah,
I need to do this.
I was gonna say.
Whew.
Yeah. Right before we started the run, Sag went into the trophies menu, and it's very technical to explain, but like essentially, we're going to be abusing the PS. Sag was saying that you need to be on the PS3 version for this category. One, because of the file nips, but also because trophies actually block you from reload, or like they stop you from loading. And so when you get into a ship, you can actually like bring the code of one level into another. Koros is very simple; it's just a boxy. So I'm just going to take time to explain what's about to happen. Sag is going to get a trophy, and what will happen is we'll get the code from the Phoenix Rescue into Command
You've
Center,
got to be kidding me, dude. Okay, this happens a lot where I get the bounce when I hit the checkpoint. It's really annoying.
Yeah, that's a classic boxy moment. Unfortunately, with the boxy, if you're landing on certain surfaces, as you saw with like Marcadia, with ELDF, if you hit a certain like slope, you'll just get shot back up in the air. It's really funny.
All right.
And by funny, I mean actually rage-inducing. But so Sag is going to be getting the Snowman trophy, and what we hope to see, as long as the PS3 doesn't troll them, we're going to be able to load the code of Phoenix Rescue into Command Center. You might notice that I think that the music of Phoenix Rescue starts to play right before we hit the ship.
It's gonna play for like a frame. If I'm quick enough, you won't even hear it.
Yeah, and you'll see. It's kind of funny. The ship is just right there. Like casually, you'd have to go all the way around. And this level is probably the hardest level like to do without that trick.
Yeah, and there is a boxy, but there is a boxy which I have been able to perform before, but I've deemed it not marathon safe yet. You know, if I ever submit this to a main GDQ event and I get in, you'll get to see it. But for now, we're gonna play it safe here. So this is Dr. Nefarious. You want to explain Rhino Bombs?
Yeah, I can explain Rhino Bombs. Also, can we if you don't mind, can you refresh in a bit? But yeah, so the Nitro launcher is like the bomb weapon of this game, and what happens with it is when you shoot it, the enemy that you're fighting loses their iframes, which means that we get to just obliterate this boss's health by using the best weapon in the game. Usually it wouldn't do that much damage because the iframes of that boss are like very he just gets absolutely destroyed because of the loss of the iframes. And right there,
Ouya's done.
Yeah, Ouya's done. Right there is just the sniper rifle, which is also like one of the best weapons. Just if you're farther away and you're in first person mode, it just shreds the health bar. Yeah. It's insane how fast that you can just get it, and that is also only like doable on the PS3 version.
Well, GG Part 3.
The Rhino Bomb is not a PS3 exclusive. What Tech meant was that the
Act tuning.
Oh crap! I accidentally booted up Ratchet 3. We do a file manip to have him have lower health. So the way you saw me do it was PS3 exclusive, but there is a way to do it on PS2. Okay, I meant to boot up Ratchet Deadlocked or Gladiator, or if you're super cool and live in Japan, Ratchet and Clank 4. So this is the shortest one of them all. It's going to once again utilize charge boot tech. So Ratchet 2 is Ratchet 2 is super short because of an oversight. Ratchet 3 is super short because of memory stuff. Not many people understand how it truly works. Deadlocked is broken because of what you're about to see. So just notice very closely. I'm loading the file. It's now loaded, and now it asks for a difficulty select. On PS2, this process is reversed, but on PS3, it's like this. And if you're in one file and you try and load another file, and you decide just to not select the difficulty, you can basically be in two files at once and transfer the progress of one file to another. So,
yeah. I was just going to make a quick mention that I'd hate to say it. I know that Saj is a really big fan of this game. This is probably the worst port of the PS3 Quadrilogy.
Oh, absolutely. This port's the most busted one of them all. If anyone knows about Will C, if that rings a bell. So this is Ghost Station. This has some awesome movement. It's once again going to start with a level where the end is at the beginning. This trigger is like right underneath the blue light for some reason. I'm going to be doing a technique called hyperstacks where going into the camera controls resets Ratchet's animation, so it allows me to infinitely hyperstrike. And then as a result of the menu cancel, I can also do this technique that you're about to see. Oh wait, I might have messed it up. Okay, no, I have not. This is called an air swing. This was found a couple of years ago. It's really awesome.
It's so cool. Yeah, so that's honestly like one of my favorite like movement pieces in this series.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Sadly, it only gets seen once in this category, but in the other categories, it gets a lot of usage, so that's good. But let's see. This is the third mission. We're already about to be done with like Ghost Station. Like this game is really fast.
Yeah, this is level's like.
Oh, wow.
This is the shortest one of the Quadrilogy, just by a little bit. Because in NG Plus Restricted, as well as in any % quadfecta, NG Plus Restricted meaning no load cancel, quit exploit, or Insomniac Museum glitch for the latter three games. Deadlocked is the longest one, but for this game, it's the shortest one, so funny how that works. We got a little basic ship mission here. How are we feeling, chat? You getting rid of all the doubts in your mind that we were going to do this in under an hour? Because I was talking to my friend from the LEGO speedrunning community, a guy named Captain Paxo. He's pretty cool. I was telling him, like, yeah, I got a couple marathon runs this week. One of them is the Ratchet Quadrilogy. It's going to be done for express lanes. The theme is like under an hour. And he's like, under an hour? And it's like, yeah, 3 of the games are like less than 10 minutes for world record.
Yeah. If I may be inclined to do so, I would like to mention that with this series, because the games are so different, like you would expect that the consistency of runners and like the dedication would be like, oh well, someone is like dominant in all of them. No, literally in every category of every game, there's like a different world record holder. It's actually insane.
Well,
like,
that's only the case
games,
for the first 2 games. For the Up Your Arsenal.
Yeah, for Ouya and Scotto. For Ouya, Scotto runs most of them, but like Yokari, like I'm not gonna. Yeah, Deadlocked is Yokari and Muka, and like there with the Rack 2, there's like several people, me included, and then Rack 1 is you have like some new runners like Never Neighbor and Atapi, and then Franzcore, who was like a long time goat, but
I'll do a safe strat here.
Yeah, this is this. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
This is another end of the levels at the beginning. I'm really messing this up right now, marathon luck. So I'm just going to do a bunch of hyperstacks to... the end of the level is right near us, but it is at a much higher elevation. And thankfully, we can just do a bunch of hyperstacks to get there. We do have 2 combat bots with us. They're going to be responsible for destroying these generators, which is what we're attempting to do. We're trying to blow up this space station. Which is why there is a timer at the bottom of the screen. So Merc, go to that one, Green, go to that one. And yeah, one nice thing about this level is you do get a tiny bit of downtime to just kind of collect yourself when you're on like the pace of a lifetime. The next mission is not going to be so like hyperstack heavy. There's going to be a couple, but not that many. You know what? I'm gonna go for no. I'm not gonna go for it. I'm really bad at it. Oh yeah, this is the one strat I found in any of these games. This speed clip. I found it on complete accident, and it also led to a mine clip being found. So yeah, that's my one contribution to these games. Take out the flail. This flail right here, you don't get to see it much in this category, but it is really broken. It allows us to do neutral tech, which yeah, we kind of forgot to mention, like, the charge boot tech is called neutral tech because a lot of it, you need to be holding neutral on the analog stick for it to work.
Yeah.
So the flail is one way we do it in this game. And
yeah, charge boots are very, like, unfortunately they got rid of the charge boots for a majority of the games after this. But yeah, I've said, like, you charge, and especially in the middle of the air, if you just charge and then shoot a weapon, like, you get so much momentum, especially into like a wrench swing. With this game, with the flail, any percent is the flail is so good that most of the any percent category is just done with the flail and the hunter mine.
all right, and there's right there. I did do a flail cancel kind of to slide up that slope, and I got onto that wire, and by staying on it in a certain position, I managed to clip through, and I hyperstacked to one of the last parts of this mission. So yeah, we're basically done with this. The timing's gonna end soon because right after this is the final boss, Gleeman Vox. Oh crud! Okay, some enemies spawn here. That's not what we want, but that's okay. So I told you guys we'd beat this entire quadrilogy in 1 hour, and I've never actually beaten this run RTA in under 1 hour, but that's because I take like the break. I really make the most out of those breaks that we get. I'm like, yeah, I'll just chill for a moment. I don't think this is definitely not like world record. This is not a new record, but RTA it is. So with Gleeman Vox, we just one-cycle him by spamming the flail. He has to go in his second phase. It's not possible to truly one-cycle him. Timing's gonna end soon, so it's gonna end when the screen goes black. So get ready, and go. 58:46.
Jeez. Yeah, that was sub 59. RTA sub 59.
Oh my gosh, my neck.
That is wild. Yeah,
4 games in under 1 hour.
58:47. I'm speechless right now.
If you guys have ever heard of the Super Mario Hour, which is 6 Mario games in under 1 hour, consider this the PlayStation equivalent to that, done by yours truly.
Yeah.
That was just absolutely amazing. Yeah, huge GGs. Like, my mind is blown. You had my attention when you submitted it, and I am a believer, like a good portion of chat. But yeah, for you too, shout outs. Where can they find you? What are you playing?
All right, so I'll start with tech because we're gonna save the talent for last.
Oh jeez. Yeah, we gotta start off with the crumbs. Yeah, I'm pretty awesome. Wait, do I have to? Wait, am I doing shout outs or are you just shouting me out?
Do shout outs. Go for
shout
it.
yourself out.
Oh, I shut myself out
first.
Okay, yeah, I'm technology. I was technology, then I lost my name. Real quick, I'd love to give a shout out to Zem. His birthday was yesterday. I know a lot of GDQ people love him. We love him. He's like the rack. People call him Rack Daddy, but that's a little sensual. But yeah, he is like hands down the reason why I think Saj and I both got into Ratchet Clank speedrunning, and we love him very much. And it means a lot that he's been around for the community for so long.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I was a couple years ago, I was on a bus for school stuff. I was in high school. I was just like binge watching Zem runs. And then like a year later, I got my PS2 and, I just kind of started with this. And right now, well, we're here now. So Tech, you want to tell them what you run before I brag about myself and actually say a few things?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm mostly an any percent guy, but when it comes to NG Plus, I'm a Rack 2, Rack 3 type of person. But I mostly run those two games. Rack 1 kind of deadlocked, not so much, but I'm a really big Rack 2 person. And I know Sag is very equated. They run a lot of Rack 3, a lot of Rack 2, a lot of deadlocked, some Rack 1.
And a little bit of 1.
Yeah.
And apart from Ratchet Quadrilogy, I run like a lot of other games. Like I'm kind of known to just run a bunch of stuff. As my friend Kulesto once said, "What don't you run?" Because he caught me playing Crash Bandicoot when he said this, I think. And he knows me because we both run Lego games. I have also known to run God of War. I learned an entire language to run God of War. Right now I'm going for like a more optimized time in this quadfecta category, something that I feel will be very unbeatable unless you put in the work into all 4 games. And I also want to get the world record in any percent quadfecta because that's one of the few that I'm missing. There's also a hundo quadfecta, and I know Tech is trying to eventually do a wrench only quadfecta, I think, but I'm not going for record in those, bro.
Yeah, wrench only is absolutely my jam. Yeah.
And then shout outs, let's see.
Oh, sorry.
There's a lot of Ratchet runners over the years that I've met. Very nice people. I would shout some of them out, but I feel like if I do, I'm going to forget someone and I'm going to regret it after this run. So
exactly. You know, I want to... I always shouted Zem out just because he was like... It was his birthday. But like there are... We named Torbolin and Pitali and Joe out, but there are like Robo, Eli... Scary, like there's so many people that are like really cool. They're very down to earth people. Also, one quick shout out to this guy. I work with this guy named John. He heard that I was going to be on GDQ and took over for my shift for today. So thank you. Because he loves this.
Yeah. Shout out to Johnny. And yeah, I also have like a few other marathon runs to prepare for. So if you guys want to watch like a bunch of other random crap, I might or might not be playing a bunch of other random crap. So yeah. This really is just crazy to think that I've done this because, like, a few years ago, a friend Dejura did play an all special bolts trifecta for Hotfix, and I wanted to do something similar. But then recently I realized, like, a standard NG Plus restricted quadfecta would not really be that exciting. It wouldn't, well, it would be, but, like, I gotta really put a twist to it. So when I found out Express Lane existed, it's like, okay, yeah, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
So I got nothing else to say.
Yeah.
If you want a 1 hour speed run to learn, you got
4 games.
4 games.
Yeah, you also got the entirety of Rack 2 wrench only.
Oh jeez.
Because we got let's cut
the cameras now. Cut the cameras now.
Yeah, this is when the talent dies. This is when talent dies and I come in.
Well, in that case, to both of you, GG's. That was absolutely amazing from a running and commentary perspective. Keep those GG's going in chat one more time. It's been absolutely fantastic. This entire episode's been so cool to watch. And just as a reminder, like if you need to catch up on all your past Hotfix shows, special events, GDQ marathons, you can head over to youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello from the past. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and return on notifications to stay up to date with GDQ. Or just watch twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick and you can watch us live. But yeah, that's it. We are done for the day. It's been so cool watching all these runs. But if you just got in here and you're like, oh heck, I've missed everything, what do I do? We got you covered, boo. Stay tuned, and we're just going to replay both Hidden Heroes and Express Lane for you starting like in a minute or so. And coming up tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, you get to check out Crosshair and Speedruns from the Crypt. So until next time, I'm Oscar424, and I'll see you in the Express Lane.